All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. This is Uncle Beno's channel, and you know how we roll. So right now, I got a very, I say, important issue to discuss. Let me just say a trending issue to discuss. And this is gonna be fun, yo. You're not gonna believe it, but it's true, man. Things they happen, and like they always say in my Yoruba parlance, any debe luli saw, meaning who was there when it happened and explain it. Just give me a second, guy. I want to bust my people on Facebook into the studio. So, daddyfreeze just finished a live show about how many minutes ago? Just about 20 or 30 minutes ago. My bro was literally defending himself. Abad defended himself for what looks like 2 hours straight. He only had one person to the live show. I think one of the supporters. But other than that, daddyfreeze was explaining and shalaying everything for 2 solid good hours. About don't shalaye tire. Oh. I'm just seeing a message from MOP right now. All right, let me just quickly explain what's going on with this daddyfreeze situation. I followed the case a little bit when daddyfreeze was trending, because I remember daddyfreeze actually, besides being our on-air personality in Nigeria, a very famous guy and a successful radio broadcaster at that. When daddyfreeze started working, when he stopped working at the radio station and he was gonna launch his social media platform, daddyfreeze came with a bang. Forgive me, guys. I can't do this without laughing. I'm sorry. So daddyfreeze came with a bang, boom, and hey, look, what's up, bro? The way daddyfreeze announced his presence on social media was a very smart move. Daddyfreeze came online and said, "Hey guys, stop paying tithes. These men of God are exploiting you. They are using your money to ride jet. They are building houses. They are living large on your dime. Stop paying tithes." You know now, my Nigeria people, that didn't go well. Why some people supported daddyfreeze and they be like, yes, it don't say where these pastors don't they embezzle our money. We don't go pay tithe again. Thank you, daddyfreeze, for speaking out on our behalf. Trust my Nigeria Christian people now. They descended on daddyfreeze like, who the hell are you? How dare you tamper with our daddy Gio, mommy Gio, sister Gio, everybody Gio. How dare you? But you know Daddy Freeze now. Daddy Freeze is a very smart brother. Daddy Freeze didn't give up. Oh. He did not relent. Daddy Freeze went after them big time. And that is how Daddy Freeze gained more popularity on social media. And ever since then, to his credit, Daddy Freeze has built a platform that has done so much good for those who are voiceless. The platform has helped people grow their businesses, both the clean and unclean businesses, because it's all about advertisement. Daddy Freeze gave people visibility and he helped those he can help. And along the line, Daddy Freeze also started his own church. I even forgot the name of that church right now, but I know that Daddy Freeze preaches every Sunday in his own style. And you know one thing about we Nigerians, if you wanted to blow so fast, you want to be rich so fast, just say you are a pastor, God has anointed you, people will follow you. I can tell you that for free. So to cut this story short, that is how Daddy Freeze gained widespread popularity. However, there is something Daddy Freeze do very, very good. He is like one of the top-notch people when it comes to this aspect of media. That is celebrity gossip. Oh, Daddy Freeze is the boss when it comes to celebrity gossip. Don't take it the wrong way. All right. This is not like me dragging him. No, this is what he does, and he's good at it. In fact, in entertainment industry, and when it comes to media, celebrity gossip is a hot cake. Everybody knows that. And even to date, if you want to grow your platform faster, either you want to grow your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any social media platform, just embrace celebrity gossip. Yeah, people like to know what is going on in celebrity lives. And Daddy Freeze do that absolutely well. Whenever issues pop up on social media and involve celebrity, Daddy Freeze definitely we talk about it. Even right now, we have a popular saying. We want to describe people like us who come online and host shows like this. We will say we set our ring light. So that actually came from people who were also trying to troll Daddy Freeze by saying, "Oh, Daddy Freeze don't set ring light." So now all of us we are all setting ring light when issue happen. Why am I going round and round explaining this in my monologue? Is because the news that broke out today and the 2 hours live show that the Freeze did, the celebrity that was discussed for 2 hours by Daddy Freeze happens to be Daddy Freeze himself. What an irony, right? The 2 hour show was hosted, anchored, presented, deliberated upon, raptures flying up and down, and the person that happens to be the major character of that conversation is no other person than Daddy Freeze himself. Now you could ask, why would Daddy Freeze make himself the subject of discussion for 2 hours? To be honest with you, this is not new. Daddy Freeze has spoke several times on his divorce. He has made references. He has, in fact, made himself an example when we are talking about divorce situation in Nigeria and overseas. When we discuss single dad, single mom, life after divorce, everything, Daddy Freeze always reference his situation, and I give him credit for that. He took accountability when it is necessary, and he was being vulnerable when he was supposed to be vulnerable. But let's get down to why he discussed himself for 2 hours today. So there is this news that was published by The Punch Nigeria, and that news was all about daddyfreeze divorce case. And daddyfreeze was kind of pissed that why would Punch publish this story, because apparently there was a judgment against daddyfreeze at a lower court, which daddyfreeze, of course, appealed the judgment, and the Court of Appeal upholds daddyfreeze's 5 million adultery fine, because the lower court actually passed the judgment that daddyfreeze must pay up. He must pay his wife, ex-husband, a total of 5 million naira for committing adultery, and daddyfreeze appealed that case, that there is no way he is going to make that payment. And that is when the appeal court now said they stand with the judgment of the lower court that daddyfreeze must pay. But what pissed daddyfreeze off was that Punch actually published this like it's a fresh story. And I get it. And after the appeal court passed their judgment, daddyfreeze took the matter to the Supreme Court, according to him, according to what he was saying on his show today. Please, if you are watching this, hit the like button. Let me check how many likes do we have so far. This is late night Akroko, so you have to give me some likes. And again, our channel has just been approved for super chat and all that. We now have membership, and I said in my previous show that on the membership thing, it's gonna be all around business. I like money, I like to hustle, and I'm gonna be sharing some of the hustling tips with you guys. So if you like to be part of that, you can join the membership. Now back to daddyfreeze story. Let me quickly read what was on the news that started all this. So according to the report on Punch paper, the Punch said the Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital, has upheld the fine imposed on popular Nigerian On-Air Personality Ifedayo Olarinde, also known as daddyfreeze, for committing adultery. This one heavy small. A high court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, had on February 18, 2021, ordered daddyfreeze to pay 5 million for committing adultery with one Benedicta Elechi. He was ordered to pay the money to Paul Odekina, who was married to Elechi at the time the adulterous act was committed. The sum of 5 million was awarded against Ifedayo Olarinde, the second correspondent to the cross petition. Nigerian law languages, I had the fear at times. So, as damages for depriving the cross petitioner of amiable consort of his wife, petitioner, first cross correspondent or respondent, whatever they call it in Nigeria on a language, get as it be. Anything law in Nigeria, you can hardly understand what they are saying at times. And for injury suffered as a result of his adultery with the petitioner or cross respondent. The court also dissolved the marriage contracted between Paul and Benedicta due to her adulterous act with daddyfreeze. Not satisfied with the High Court judgment, daddyfreeze approached the appeal court for redress. Daddyfreeze's main grounds of appeal were that Odekina did not attempt to serve him personally before applying for substituted service, which violates Order 7, Rule 2 of the rules of the trial court. He also held that the purported service by substituted means by courier was not effective as shown in the affidavit of service, adding that the non-service violates the twin pillars of the principle of natural justice. In the certified true copy of the judgment dated June 26, 2024, and obtained by our correspondent on Friday, the three main panel of Justice Abubakar Taba, Delani Senshi, and Hanatu Balogun dismissed daddyfreeze's appeal for lack of merit. The court ruled that if the appellant wanted to overrun the trial court's judgment due to non-service, he should have filed a counter affidavit against the affidavit of service and then sought to set aside the trial court's judgment. It partly read, affidavit evidence can only be countered by counter affidavit. As such, I found the procedure adopted by the appellant alien to our jurisprudence. All right. Where the appellant was the judgment of the trial court to be set aside for non-service, he ought to have approached the trial court by filing a counter affidavit against the affidavit of service he seeks to set aside, and consequently set aside the judgment of the trial court. Thus, as it is in the instant appeal, there is nothing filed by the appellant to counter the affidavit of service of the process server filed in. Hence, therefore, I resolve the sole issue for determination against the appellant and in favor of the correspondent. The appeal, therefore, lacks merit and it is hereby dismissed. Accordingly, the judgment of the Rivers State High Court in suit number PHC 403MC 2012, delivered on the 18th February 2021 by J. Akpohuru, is hereby affirmed. I make no order as to cost. Jesus Christ. According to the CTC of the judgment, Olafaro and Nikoba Hilton appeared for the appellant, while Eni Newi and Wilcox Abertron SAN represented the first and second respondent, respectively. Blood of Zachariah. All right. Now, I'm going to leave this here because I'll still come back to you. Unfortunately, I am not a lawyer. I'm just a traditional lawyer. May God forgive me. I have LLB in traditional law, MMMB in Gbasgbos law, any law where you just quote. So far, the law no dey really legal. I have certificate in it. So I'm going to use my coconut head traditional approach to judge this matter. God, please forgive me. Ben, stop laughing. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it. That's what started the whole Gbasgbos today. So when the Punch published this, daddyfreeze was not having it. Let me recognize my sisters and brothers in the house. While I was reading all that, make no verse. I just, say we know read law. So whenever we see any material that has the semblance of law, judgment, or something, we usually take our time to read line by line until we come across some legal terminologies that we can't even comprehend. All right, Luke is here. Thank you, Luke. I see Princess, you're here. How you doing? My sister Grace Mercy, how are you? Oh man, Sade is here. How are you doing, Sade? Oh, these are the real lawyers. Don't mind me. My own lawyer now. And I say underground lawyer, I don't even know. My sister Sisi is back here again. How you doing, Sisi, mama? Thank you. I'm actually reviewing your friend issue today, daddyfreeze. All right. Okay. So what are we going to discuss exactly? Let me make it easier for us. Like I've always said on Uncle Beno's channel, I am not doing dragging. I don't do any of that. And when I bring any issue to this platform, I just want us to extract the lesson. So shout out to daddyfreeze. Shout out to everybody involved in that case. This is just a case that I want us to rub mind and learn from it, because what is happening here is reality of life. It's really happening. There are women right now who have divorce cases pending in court. I do understand that in Western world, sometimes it might take 2 to 3 years before a case is resolved. Maybe it don't even. I don't think it takes up to 3 years. So I think even in the state of Texas, the higher it goes is just about maybe 2 years before a divorce case is finalized. But in the case of Nigeria, Jesus help me. Please, sisters, I need you to follow this, as I want to break it down in my own little knowledge. In the case of Nigeria, a divorce case can go on for 5 years, 6 years, 8 years. Lord, in the case of this daddyfreeze matter right now, towards the end, I read the lawsuit number, the case number, and this case was filed in 2012. The case was filed in 2012, and judgment was not delivered until February 2021. 2012 to 2021, that is a good 9 years, for God's sake. 9 good years. So I want you to take note of that. The timing. The case dragged for 9 years, because this point will come back in the conversation. Like I said, I'm a brotherhood. I like to defend my brothers, but at the same time, I don't defend nonsense. No, I don't condole it. Divorce case went for 9 years. All right. That is part 1. Part 2 of what I want us to look at is come in, please. The second thing I want us to look at is adultery. Do we have a case of adultery or not? That's the second thing I want to look at here. Excuse me, please. Let me quickly answer this. I'll join you guys shortly, please. Okay, sorry. That was a very important call. It's all about money, and I don't play with money. Me and money, we are 5 and 6. Make una no verse. If I don't want, make I dey pursue money. Make una show me road, so that me too, I go become billionaire. Then that way I won't be chasing money anymore. All right. Coming back to what I was saying. 2, is there really a case of adultery here? Because that is the bone of contention of daddyfreeze. Daddyfreeze said, hell no, I am not paying 5 million naira because I did not commit adultery. Number one thing daddyfreeze is fighting for. 3, the third thing I want us to consider is this. Do you think men should sleep with a woman whose divorce case is yet to be finalized? That's the third thing we're going to talk about. So 3 issues. Number 1, dragging. When divorce case drag for too long, a woman is tired of a marriage. Maybe she has collected so many gbas from her husband, and she can't take it no more, especially when there are DV and all forms of abuse and all that. And the woman said, no, I'm not doing anymore. Then she filed for divorce. How long should a divorce case last? And in the case of Benedicta, let me quickly show you guys something here. This is the reason for her divorce. Let me show you. If you can see my screen right now. This is her reason for filing for divorce from her husband. I think this actually made the news when she granted an interview with, I think, Linda Ikeji. Here is what she has to say. Elechi, in the interview, talked about catching her estranged husband with a man in their home. Not woman, make I read them again. Elechi, in case for those who don't know, Benedicta Elechi is the name of daddyfreeze's wife, and she goes by the name Taste Buds because she's a very good chef. She's a good cook. So Elechi in the interview talked about catching her estranged husband with a man in their home, how he lived a double life as an alleged, make I no pronounce that one. My channel is still fresh. But as an alleged AJ Gabriel, how he made life a living hell for her, deprived her of sexual benefits of marriage. And my sisters were discussing this thing at Man of Prestige backstage earlier today. Say some men are really terrible when it comes to this Kerewa thing. I wanted to defend brotherhood, but I noticed quickly, I wake up quickly that if I try to argue this thing with this, my sister, they go floor us fair. They go floor me first, come floor my gender, join us. So I quickly dropped that. I don't want to discuss it, but now it came up again in this interview that Mrs. Benedicta had with Linda Ikeji. She said how he made life a living hell for her, deprived her of sexual benefits of marriage, sent out to kidnap her, and also vandalize her company equipment in Port Harcourt. Now, to me, I got to be honest with you. You see, the first allegation there, she catching her man with another man. No woman will take that too. May we no lie. Let's just be honest. And I think that is enough reason to file for divorce. Yes. Living double life is not the same. Yes, my sister Sisi. Like Sisi is saying now, those statements are pregnant. Yes, so this is where my brother MOP will say, where's the rest of the story? But I don't even think we need the rest of the story here, because at the time she granted this interview, the issue of the alphabet community was not this prominent, and the man took it seriously, that he fought it with everything, that even if you comb the internet right now, you will not find the video of that interview. That was how serious it was. But coming back to what we are saying here, and I'm still on topic number one, which is the 9 years it took for the divorce to be finalized. Now, this woman has gone through a lot, and for me as a man, I'm saying it right now, if you will be a gay, don't be a gay and then marry to a beautiful woman. No. Welcome, honey babe. Don't be an agege and then you marry a beautiful woman and then you start to suffocate that lady at home. You start to make life a living hell for her. Now, Benedicta filed for divorce since 2012. And then the case was in court. And this is where I want to move on to second point, so that when my sisters want to come on board, I want to discuss this. I want you to just let us limit the discussion to these 3 points. Point number one, the divorce case took 9 years before they finalized it. Point number two, adultery. Adultery. Because according to the story and according to what daddyfreeze have said on multiple occasions, daddyfreeze also went through his own divorce. And I think daddyfreeze met his wife, and somehow they click, you know? And when they click, they were waiting for the divorce to be finalized before they can move on. Divorce, no green finalized. Divorce, drag. And you know, in Nigeria, because I'm going to do a little brotherhood here in favor of daddyfreeze. And it's not only in Nigeria too. As a man, when you see a beautiful woman that satisfies your need, A woman you fall in love with, a woman that you see and say, man, I think she's the one for me. In Nigeria, we don't wait until wedding day before we do the do. And just like the show I did earlier today, Understanding Men, this is part of it. If you are the type of woman that you want to start a committed relationship with a Nigerian man and you are preaching, oh baby, I have made a lot of mistakes in the past. Men have disappointed me severally. Right now, I am celibate. About that they call him. I'm in my celibacy mood. I don't want to do anything until after the wedding night. I want to do it right. This is the one my sisters will say, and it will get me going crazy all the time. When I see a woman who's been married before, or maybe have a child out of wedlock, and now she want to restart her life, and she'll be like, right now, I'm not doing anything with any man. I am celibate. I'm not going to do nothing until the wedding night. You have to wait till the wedding night. My Nigerian brain will go like, are you kidding me right now? Are you normal? You are taking a break and wait till wedding night. Auntie, are you a virgin? I'm sorry. It's just funny anyway. I'm not saying this to say that you shouldn't do what you want to do. If you think that, okay, because of all the nonsense men have done with me, I don't want to have sex, I'm just going to wait until after the wedding before I do it. Sister, do you. It's a bad decision. But I'm just telling you right now, as a Nigerian man, as an African man, we don't do it. We don't have that patience. In fact, if you meet an African man that you tell him, can you please wait until after the wedding night before we do it? And he agrees. My sister, check that man well. Check if the third leg is working. Please. Nigerian men don't have that patience. African men generally, we don't. In fact, if you meet an African man today and a week from now, if you let down your guards, that man will do the do. All right. So coming back to daddyfreeze adultery case, I think daddyfreeze found this woman and daddyfreeze loved her. And you can tell, if you follow them, you can tell that these two people are really in love. They are truly in love. So maybe between the lines, somewhere around the corner, somehow, DF can't wait. DF can't. Have you seen daddyfreeze? Daddyfreeze is an handsome dude, a very handsome brother. Check him out. Even you, my sister, if you're watching me right now, sister or brother, tell me, what kind of a woman we meet daddyfreeze? A very brilliant man, very intelligent, smart, outspoken, a famous celebrity, and he's dying for you. And he's coming for you. Oh, come on now. You said go do the do. So I think, and the reason I'm saying I think is because daddyfreeze said, I am innocent. I do not commit adultery. So I want to agree that daddyfreeze did not commit adultery. But I am thinking allegedly, somehow, I think maybe when my lawyer sisters come in, they go help me find better grammar. This is where I need my Marriott and my Chidima. I need a grammar to qualify what really happened there. I think allegedly, somehow, maybe, probably, systematically, something happens. And boom, Mrs. Benedict got pregnant. Yes, Mrs. Benedicta got pregnant, and as a result of the pregnancy and everything, that is when her ex-husband, Mr. Paul, now summer DF. The case we are talking about, adultery. And DF said, hell no, I did not commit an adultery. So Before we start this deliberation in full force, let me just do my own traditional lawyer first. I told you guys, I have LLB, MMB, BBB, MMA in traditional law. I can quote the law and I will back it up with Amadioha. Trust me. So, what is adultery? I want us to pay attention to this because this is going to come up in our discussion. Now, according to AI, yes, adultery, because I actually went online and I Google, is adultery a criminal offense in Nigeria? And this is what I got. Yes, adultery is a criminal offense in northern Nigeria under the penal code, but not in the southern states. Please take note of that. Not in the southern states. Section 387 and 388 of the Penal Code define adultery as having sexual intercourse with someone other than your spouse, knowing or believing that the person is not your spouse, and sexual intercourse that is not rape. The punishment for adultery can include up to 2 years in prison, a fine, or both. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, your traditional lawyer, Uncle Beno, has proven the case that adultery is actually an offense in Nigeria, but it is in the northern part of Nigeria, not in the southern part. And maybe this is the reason why people are benching another man's wife in the south. In the south, for those who don't know Nigeria, I can do you one better by showing you the map of Nigeria so that you get to see Nigeria for what it really looks like. Adultery, this one even shocked me. I wasn't expecting that at all, to be honest. That adultery is actually not a criminal offense in the south, but it's a criminal offense in the north. I'm hearing this one for the first time. And I think these are part of the reason that daddyfreeze is saying that I am not guilty. So if you're watching this right now as a sister or brother, and you have a situation, maybe someone already filed a case against you that you committed adultery, I think you have a basis to fight. We were having the discussion in the Man of Prestige backstage, and my opinion is that daddyfreeze must pay up. If truly you slept with a woman who is still married, the divorce is not yet finalized, you are supposed to pay. But having gone through these legal terms and interpretation that I just read right now, that adultery is just an offense in the northern part and not an offense in the southern part, I now see that wahala dey, and I see why daddyfreeze don't want to pay. So please, I'm dropping the link so we can have this conversation real quick. And I expect my sisters and brothers in the comment to let us understand how this will play out. Please, like I said, this show is not about dragging. I know a lot of people are not a fan of daddyfreeze, and I know that daddyfreeze have dragged a lot of people in the past. In fact, for the first time today, I saw daddyfreeze doing a show on himself, and Baba was swinging, cursing, swearing, nothing daddyfreeze was not doing today on the show. But in all this, the one person I felt really sorry for was the wife. I got to be candid and be honest with you. The one person I felt so sorry for was the wife. Hey, honey babe, welcome, mama. So,
hello.
Honey babe, you are still awake, sister. How you doing, mama?
It's Friday night. I'm not going anywhere, so I thought I'd just watch YouTube.
I see. I
went out last weekend. I try to manage myself. I don't go out every weekend.
Abio, you have to enjoy yourself now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I just wanted to finish with my third point, and then
no
we'll
problem.
have this discussion. So why I said the only person I felt sorry for in all this was that I think today is the first time I listened to Daddy Free show, and his wife cannot hold it, but she was talking on the ground. I think this one really hit home hard on her. And in all fairness, I don't think that woman deserved the unnecessary attention that Punch brought to this case. I'm not saying I'm sorry for Daddy Freeze, no, because if this is happening to another celebrity, Daddy Freeze will run on his ring light, and all of us that we run platform, we will also talk about it. And now that Daddy Freeze is the subject of discussion, I give him credit for coming out and turn up his own ring light and kind of shine light on himself. My sister Shade is here. Welcome, Mama. Welcome. So this is Shade is so
Hello,
funny.
hello, Sister Shadow.
Hello, honey. Oh my God, I can't. Could you people there? I'm afraid that the
She's already
fish
laughing me.
the way you podcast. I said, yeah, let me go hide under my bed because man, oh God, oh God.
All right. All right. I'm going to come to you guys. I just wanted to establish this fact that the reason I'm sorry for the wife is that when I heard her voice a couple of times, if you watch that show on Daddy Freeze towards the end of the show, maybe like 30 minutes to the show, you will hear her. You're going to hear her saying some things on the ground. And it's really painful to hear a woman have to relive the past. I think that woman have tried a lot to kind of hide herself. Even though Daddy Freeze is coming online every day and he's doing so many things, I've not seen Taste Bud be this social media woman showing herself up and down. Daddy Freeze is the only one who put her on camera most of the time. So I think she's just trying to live a quiet life. But now they have brought her past to social media again. And underneath, even at a point, somebody was asking Daddy Freeze, if the Supreme Court said you are guilty and you have to pay this 5 million naira, will you return this woman back to her husband? And the woman said, so now I'm a commodity. That one hit home. It hit home really hard for me. So that's why I wanted to ask, is it okay for men to have kerewa with women who divorce is yet to be finalized? That's the third point. So let's start with Honey Babe. Honey Babe, 3 issues. Issue number 1.
Yes.
Divorce took 9 years.
Yes.
From the
Yes.
moment they filed
Yes.
to the time they finally divorced, it took 9 years.
That is the same age as my youngest son. So to put it in context, that's a very long time. Now I've been divorced, and I'm gonna be honest that as once I made the decision to divorce, I believe that I didn't do it personally. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but once a person makes a decision and you've now put your applications to divorce, it's fair game. Are you trying to tell me that Daddy Freeze, even though obviously some of his, there's the character and there's Daddy Freeze as a man, you expect him to wait 9 years to, have relations with taste buds? No. As far as I'm concerned, once you've put in an application, it's fair game. As far as if you now decide that you want to entertain someone, the assumption is that you would obviously be talking, but the assumption is the divorce would be 3 or 4 months. You would hold yourself for 3 or 4 months, but would you hold yourself for 9 years? I think we need to be we need to show empathy, as much as we don't particularly like DF in terms of the way he goes about his business. As a fellow human being, I think that the ruling is very, very unfair, because for far as I'm concerned, once you've made a decision to divorce, it's okay for you to decide to date someone else.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't done it. I haven't done it. I personally, but like I said, I don't think we should judge anybody based on what I'm saying. But what I'm saying to you, I personally waited until I had my degree absolute. But then again, my divorce was 4 months. So obviously I'm going to hold myself for 4 months. But it's 9 years. Are you telling me that he was supposed to wait or she was supposed to wait 9 years? Come on, let's be real. So I think we need to give him some grace in the sense that him having to wait 5 years and he actually, you know, had relations with taste buds. I think that we're all hypocritical because if we was in that situation, sorry, you would open your legs, whether it's a man or a woman. So I think we need to be very, very careful. It's a unique situation that, I mean, for it to go on for almost like nine years, it's a long time. I think we need to give him that grace. I personally think that he shouldn't have to pay. And I personally am on his side on this issue. I always do things on a case-by-case basis. I'm not clouded by the fact that he is not the best personality. I just think that this is a wrong ruling, and I believe that he did nothing wrong.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. Thank you. I just shared something right now, real quick. Here in the state of Texas, divorce cases are finalized in 60 days. Unless there was family violence, the judge can't finalize a divorce at the hearing until 60 days after the petition for divorce was filed. Keep that in mind when setting or scheduling your hearing. So, I think before latest 1 year, divorce cases are usually
exactly. I hear you.
But in Nigeria, everything is different. So this comment is coming from Marriott. Sister Marriott said, legal cases last too long in Nigeria. Taste bud wouldn't have her child now had she waited. And it's true. Taste bud wouldn't have had that.
Can I just say something? The thing is, that her ex-husband has the audacity to now be filing adultery. Now we know what he was doing on the down low. So I hate hypocrisy. But one thing that I don't understand is that once you file, you're emotionally and physically out of the marriage already. All it is the legalities to divorce. So I don't really understand this thing and that, or this kind of thing that the husband is saying that she committed adultery. Marriage was over from the time that he did his under G moves and the time that obviously the divorce was filed. Marriage is over. It's just the paperwork. So I don't understand this kind of attachment to say that, oh, she technically did adultery. Marriage was over, my friend.
Grace is saying DF is a liar.
No, it's not, because it's been consistent. I've listened to the interviews. It's been consistent. Everything. That's why I said in this case, I defend him, because everything he said has been consistent. He's not a liar. It's been consistent.
Yeah. Okay, now let me take this one from Sade. Said, let me call you the way they call it in America.
No, we call it shadow. We don't call them Said. It's shadow. What would it say? Who said that?
Same.
Texas,
it really vexes me when they don't pronounce our names properly. It really annoys me.
In Texas, they will actually call her Said.
Really? Wow.
I'm telling you, in Texas, they have
my job. I can't tell somebody my name is not Sheila.
Oh my God. All right, my sister. You are kind of far away from your mic, though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you
we can hear you.
Mic.
Oh, hold on.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Better now. So, what's your take on this 9 years period of finalizing divorce case in the first place before we move to adultery?
This is not a legal channel, but here's the thing: the context of the events that occurred. This woman was still married to this individual, regardless of all the stuff that he was doing. 9 years is a long time, but you have to look at it two angles. What does the Bible say about adultery? What is the common law? So common law would say, well, he doesn't have to wait. I agree with Honey Babe, but then the Bible does not permit that. And let's not forget that I don't know I don't know what he is. I don't want to come and say what I don't want. This man doesn't want to. I don't know. Like this, anytime that is preaching about God, that is my cue to say goodbye and God bless. Bye. I don't know what he got going on, but honey, Uncle would not have waited. Uncle was already getting in there. So that to me, that's between him and God. Because the Bible already tells us that if you sleep with somebody else's husband, you have indirectly committed adultery. And you have also caused that person to commit adultery. So you have both sinned against God. So you have to look at it. And then there's the consequences of those things. And some of those implications might be playing themselves out, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So the scales of justice are not equal. It tips to either the sides of the prosecution or the defense. So like I said, common law will say, why wait for 9 years? The Bible says, thou shalt not commit adultery, and thou shalt not. David went to go and sleep with somebody else's wife. See the Wahala Pro Max David enjoyed.
Abby? Actually, you're right, because I actually look it up now. Because me, I like to produce evidence as a traditional lawyer.
Right.
The Bible teaches on adultery are found in both the Old and New Testament, and include the 7th commandment: you shall not commit adultery, and that is coming from Exodus 20, verses 14, right?
Yes.
All right. The Bible also includes other verses that discuss adultery, including Leviticus 20:10. The adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to deletion. Jesus. Deuteronomy 22:22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then both of them shall die. I don't think DF look at all this part of the Bible.
Uncle Beno, like I said before, I don't know what sex he belongs to, but man, he might want to check that out.
Yeah, but can I come in there again?
Yeah.
I'm all about accountability because I hate hypocrisy. See, my issue is that everyone is focusing on DF and taste buds. I know I'm not an advocate of DF. I just like to do on a case-by-case basis. But my man, that the ex-husband that filed the adultery, he committed adultery with, let's not go there, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
but honey,
so I don't, my issue is that obviously I don't know whether you need evidence. I don't know Nigerian law system, but he committed adultery as well. So I really don't understand why people can't just move on. All this back and forth, he committed adultery. He committed adultery as well. I really don't understand dragging divorce for 9 years. It really doesn't get you anywhere. I don't understand it. I just find it petty. His marriage is not by force, especially when both of them, well, technically she's cheated, right? He cheated as well. They have no business being together, and I don't understand the dragging on or for 9 years to divorce someone just because what? I don't know what you want to gain out of it. I know I've kind of gone on a tangent, but I just personally think that he committed adultery as well, and that needs to be discussed as well.
But Grace is saying something here which I found valid.
Well, yeah, Grace I know. Obviously, yeah, there's no evidence. Obviously, if you're knocked up, it's pretty obvious there's evidence of you obviously committing adultery. But there is the fact that she's gone on interviews and he hasn't actually prosecuted her for when you basically libel, makes me think that it is true. Because if someone is saying that you as a man are sleeping with someone the same, then I assume that you'll be quick to go to court and for someone that is disparaging your character.
I have something to say about that. Grace says that
no problem.
But the evidence is that his wife caught him in the act. So that is evidence.
Exactly.
Under the rules of evidence, if he is submitting an appeal to the Supreme Court, and I don't want to get legal here, they can
Please don't. I don't want to have a headache. Sorry.
I don't want to get technical, but I'm saying that they could introduce that to their cause.
Yes. I never thought about that.
I don't need to pay the $5 million. There may have been a reason why they decided not to say that at first. And I don't, like I said, honey, babe, I'm talking about this. When I look at the scales of justice,
No, yeah. I
common law
agree because you
versus
know the legal
biblical
side.
law. I'm not even after daddy freeze because honestly, like I said, Uncle Ben, me, I fear that man. Hey, God forbid, a blood of Jesus over my whole house. I can't comment. I cannot. I already comment on DF. I don't know. My
Yeah, we
uncle
can
is
start a
saying,
whole blog on that. Yeah, I agree.
Wait till I have an issue here.
Uh-uh.
Sade, you said the fact that the wife walked in and caught him in the act, that is a proof that he committed adultery?
Because
no,
she can do a signed
proof.
statement,
Yes, that is proof
affidavit.
because
Yeah,
when you look at the rules of evidence,
yeah.
evidence could be physical. You could have an eyewitness account. She is the
Mm.
witness.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if she took picture. We don't know if she did video recording.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't know what happened before she even walked into the room. Kate Butts is a very smart and intelligent woman. And
So
that's why I
what?
said, as far as I'm saying, there's no evidence. There is evidence. So evidence is
What,
that
what, what, I
your
think, sorry, not sorry to interject. I've been to court and I've had to make a sworn written statement. I've forgotten what
right
it's called. I don't know if you know what I'm talking
affidavit,
about, Sade, where I have
affidavit.
to, yeah, you do I can't remember what it was. I basically wrote, you have to go into history of the reason why I wanted to divorce my husband. I had to sign it and it was a sworn written statement. So what I'm saying is that what Shade's trying to say is that her, obviously seeing the guy and obviously walking in on them, she could do a written statement. I don't know what the technical legal terms are, and that could be put into evidence.
Right. Great. CC says it's not admissible. It is.
Yes, I'm looking
It
at
is
this.
admissible. This is not
It
a
is,
criminal
babe.
trial
It is,
where you
babe.
have to
It is.
go through the what do they call that thing, deposition hearing, where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say
yeah,
what
yeah,
can
yeah,
be introduced into evidence versus what
yeah,
cannot
yeah.
be introduced into evidence. While I agree
Mm,
with you, Cece, that is not enough. If they wanted to introduce and go that route, remember that when
mm,
you talk about what can I say to win my appeal, you have to look at the rules of evidence and apply them
uh-huh.
to your argument. Without a
Mm,
concrete argument, your case can be thrown in favor of the opposing side. And it just goes back to what I said. There may have been a reason why they may
yeah.
not have said those things on the docket. And I'm not looking at
Mm,
American law or English law. I'm looking at the law of commerce, according, just like Uncle Ben
yes.
says, I'm a traditional. I'm just looking at it in layman's terms. We have to look at when we're filing a complaint, how that affects me. She has children with
Mm,
this man. There may have been a consideration for the mental welfare of those kids. Her kids are adults and they're with Daddy Freeze and they call him dad. Nobody wants to hear things about their dad, regardless of whether he hurt their parent or not. Unless child, he's just a useless parent. So we have to consider certain factors. And the factor here is I don't support what DF did. I don't support what Mr. Paul, whatever his name is, did. And I don't support what is her name? Taste Buds did. But then the law does not favor them in Nigeria. 9 years. Some people are even waiting for divorce for 15 years.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Hey, Didi, welcome my sister. Thanks for
but
being here.
can I
honey,
just wanted to
yeah,
wanted to say, when I went to divorce, when I obviously filed it, I went through solicitor. There was he agreed to the divorce, so I didn't have to go to court. There was no contested divorce. But I know that you have to say the last time you separated, you have to give a statement of all the things that made you, because mine was unreconcilable differences. Obviously it's different to adultery, but you have to write everything down and you have to swear. I don't know what it is, but you have
It's
to
a
swear some
sworn
kind of thing.
affidavit. It's a sworn
That's it.
statement.
That's it. And what all those things are taken into consideration. I
One last thing,
obviously,
Uncle Ben.
yeah,
One
yeah.
last thing, Uncle Ben. They may have disclosed that before the
Yes,
judge,
I did. I
but they
did.
could have sealed that. I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
They could have disclosed that before the courts, and they could have decided to seal that, maybe to protect this person and to protect her children. That's what I was gonna add.
Now I'm so confused with all this, but I just wanted to quickly back up what Sisi said here based on what Sade said so far. And if Sisi said that this is not admissible in court, both parties are not credible witnesses because she could be a disgruntled party. I want to agree with that, because what I'm getting from what Sade is saying right now is that if somebody just, if let's say if a wife just get up tomorrow and accuse the husband and say, oh, I caught him doing the jiggy with one woman, and she's willing to swear to an oath in court, does that now make it like, okay, because she placed her hands on the Bible and swear, it means that the man really did it?
No, they look at the evidence.
Uncle Ben,
Sorry.
no, it doesn't mean that he did it. She would swear an affidavit. They would have to introduce evidence, and then they may decide to seal parts of the record. In my divorce hearing, it was based on domestic violence, financial abuse, and certain things. There was evidence of certain things that he did that was sealed. But he was made aware of that, and he was told the implications if I decided to proceed. So that's why I'm saying that that it is admissible. You have this is not a criminal case where you're trying to prove your client's innocent. This is a civil matter, and in civil matter, anything is evidence. So that's why I'm saying that maybe they introduced it.
Yeah, she's correct. She's totally correct.
Absolutely correct, Uncle Ben. I'm telling you the truth. In civil law, and the burden of proof rests upon the respondents, the person making the complaint, to prove that this person stole money from me. So if I show a picture of you or a recording of you doing certain ungodly acts, guess what? I've proven my case. Civil law, the burden of proof lies on the evidence submitted. Criminal law, you got to argue beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, criminal, yes, argue beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the way it works.
Yeah, what she said is totally correct. It's totally different to criminal. It's civil. You basically can both give evidence. I gave evidence of unreconcilable differences. I don't want to go into too deep, but basically I did that. He was the respondent because I initiated the divorce. He has to obviously respond to my petition for divorce, and he has to do his own side. He said many things, but at the end of the day, the judge will not examine everything. And in my case, they accepted what I said, and I obviously got my divorce. So they will look at all the evidence of me, the initiator, and him, the respondent. But you are allowed to bring as much evidence as you want to.
The people in the commentary don't get it. It's not
they
about
don't, because they've never been there. If you don't know, keep quiet.
9 years, but you don't know if they were going through mediation. There are certain things that Daddy Freeze will not come out and tell you. He told people what he wanted people to know. But there are certain things that if you go and read, Nigerian divorce cases are public record. Come on, now if you do research, you can find stuff. So there are certain things that he wouldn't have said. So it's not about this is Nigeria. It's about what both sides are bringing to the table. You have children involved. Maybe she decided.
Welcome, Sister Natu. Welcome, Sister Natu.
She probably decided. She may not have introduced that into evidence. She may decide to. She may decide to word it differently. You don't know.
Okay.
So, $5 million. I don't agree that he should pay $5 million, but we'll get to that.
No, I don't agree, and I agree with
My whole thing I'm saying here today is, people need to understand that I've been dealing with law for years. I'm not a lawyer yet, about to be one, but I can tell you that in civil law is based on contract and so many other factors. So if I accuse you of something in civil law, whatever I have to support my argument is evidence, whether the other side agrees or not. I have to prove that. That's all.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna move on. Sister Marriott, Wahala, sister Marriott, I don't turn the show to legal show. Actually, we're talking about legal issues here. Daddy Freeze has gone up for 2 hours, 1 hour 30 something minutes, defending himself and saying he's ready to spend 100 million to avoid paying 5 million. So there is something there. And
was it today this interview had? Was it today?
I'm telling you.
They come off. I will watch it later. Okay.
So you got to go see it. That Freeze was blowing hot today. Here are some of the things he said. Listen, hear this.
Max a year. Not my ex, because we were not meant to be, so we're quarreling. And when we left, everybody moved on. Me, I moved on hours. I'm not even sure say a rich day. As she move on, like she pack a load, she go, Abi. Within 2-3 hours, me, I don't move on. I not waste any time because the relationship was gone. But I understand if you mourn a relationship for a year, 2 years. Dude, 12 years. There's a problem. More leave joke, more address matter. There is a problem. There is a fundamental problem. You cannot cry for 12 years. You cannot cry for 2, as in how? Somebody say hours, or long hours. Papa, I cold. This was they always have to say I cold. Gone. Enter the second year. You will enter the third year. A year is a long time. We don't know one whole year, 365 days. Also on G, they sleep, they wake, 365 times. And you are still crying over a matter.
This is actually.
Brother said, you plan to take it to I took it to the Supreme Court a month ago. And they've been served and they've responded in the Supreme Court. So it's already a case in the Supreme Court. Somebody said you should have chosen any single or married lady. This is the problem. When I chose my
the guy is pissed.
wife, who was single and unmarried.
Yeah.
Remy is a divorcee, so Remy can never marry again. Rita Gambia is a divorcee, so Rita Gambia can never marry again.
What?
That's the wicked. You see, of all glory brooks we come here today, take your own. You are the worst.
Honey,
So
babe,
once the
this man?
divorced woman like this,
This guy has started.
No. You see,
Fear daddy freeze, fear daddy freeze.
Oh
He got bad mouth.
I'm being sarcastic. I'm not afraid of him. I just think that he's moving mad. I don't know. He might need to get some medication.
I think you need to understand this is personal to him. I'm not supporting him. So obviously, when he's shacking you, obviously you gotta lash out now.
See, that man's abuse is very terrible. Like, and the thing
I know. It's bad. It's bad.
About this man is that how do you end up preaching the word of God? Lord.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Cece, Cece is not even here. Honey Babe and Sade, let us just quickly look at the real subject matter here. In fact, you have to go and watch this particular one. You will laugh all through. daddyfreeze was blowing hot, cold, and center at the same time, fighting people in the comment. This is what I spoke about yesterday, that sometimes as a platform owner, sometimes you should know when to be a moderator and when to be doing your monologue and doing your own thing and all that. And you should always expect that people are not always going to agree with you. This is the reason why I don't watch daddyfreeze most of the time to myself, because if you bring a topic for people to deliberate upon, the fact that you have your personal opinion as the host, it doesn't mean that your opinion supersedes everyone else's opinion. I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying now.
I personally believe, Brother Ben, in the state of emotional trauma that he's in, he had no business doing a live, because the guy he's literally reaching and acting. He's walking crazy. He's acting crazy. He personally should have never gone on live. He's too emotional. Like, thank you, my girl. CC said that he's too emotional. He should have just done a general statement on Instagram or a written statement that he doesn't deviate from. You cutting every single online keyboard warrior, it makes no sense. If it was anybody else,
what is one of them really doing juju in their backyard? I don't know. Swearing for daddyfreeze.
I just think that what he did was very immature. I mean, I'm not doing age shaming, but I just think personally he knows the game. He knows how it is. He should have personally, waited for his emotions to go down. I don't think this was a wise thing to do, for him to go on live when obviously this thing is triggering him.
Don't forget that his first wife showed him shaggy, domestic violence and everything. That man is a broken man. And
he needs to get help.
Honestly, Brother Bio says one time on Obodoyibo's channel that he needs therapy. He needs to go into
therapy. Yes, totally agree. It's obvious.
I think he's improving anyway, and there's just a
How,
conflict.
Oh, you
brother
Ben,
Ben?
even when you don't agree with
How?
people or you get upset, since
How?
I've been following you, I don't ever see you berate people. I've never, even when even if you don't like what somebody's saying, I've never ever seen you do what I can't. I wonder if he talks to his children like that. It's crazy.
I think he's got a lot of bitterness, and I'm not trying because, like I said, we all have trauma. But I think that it's just been going on for years. He needs to really step back and literally get help.
Ah,
I think it's just the Nigeria man ego thing.
That's not an excuse for madness. You can't be showing yourself mad like that.
Okay, now let's look at the real subject of discussion here as it partake to daddy freeze. This issue of adultery. Do we agree that he actually committed adultery?
Technically, yeah, but I still come back to my argument before. Are you expecting him to wait for 9 years? My divorce was bang, bang, bang within 4 to 5 months.
You
His
live in
was
sorry,
it was sorry.
You live in the Western world. You are in the
I
UK.
do understand. That's why I said that I do understand that it's different. Then that's why I'm saying, did you expect him to wait for 9 years? Like I said, to me, I believe that once someone files papers, emotionally, you're not married anymore, as far as I'm concerned. So all this goes out the window. That's how I see it, because it's just a case of due process.
Okay, let me quickly bring something to play here. Because Daddy Freeze is also a pastor, so we got to use both biblical evidence and everything.
Okay.
I
Make sure
didn't
you
come in for
verify
this,
he's
so no
preaching, though.
problem. Oh yeah.
Make sure you verify that one's preaching, but go ahead. No, verify that one at your
Oh,
place.
Sister Sade, why are you like this now?
I'm
All
just
right.
saying my own.
Don't make me laugh now. All right. All right. So the Bible says in Deuteronomy 22:22, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then both of them shall pay. And then in Matthew 5:28, now this one, Matthew 5:28 says, Jesus says, but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. This one hard small. Me at the look, Make I confess now. God forgive me, please. Hebrew 13:4 says, he states that God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. And Proverbs 6:32 to 35 says, but a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. Now that I've bring Bible into this, and with that book of Proverbs, let us now look at this adultery genuinely now. Is it okay for a man? I'm going to ask again. Is it okay for a man in this modern day and time? Is it okay for a man to sleep with a woman whose divorce is yet to be finalized? That was what I was.
Is that what you want me to? I would say no, but like I said, no one expects someone to wait for 9 years. We know when there's extraordinary circumstances to this, and I think we need to give grace for that, because if it was a case where we knew Nigeria actually worked, and it was a case where the divorce came through 5-6 months, I would say that he's wrong. Why can't he hold himself for 5 or 6 months? But this is someone that had to wait for 9 years, so I think we need to give grace, because this is extraordinary. This is an extraordinary circumstance. Like I said, when he started his divorce, I just had my youngest child. He's 9, who'll be 10 in a couple of months. That is how long it took the divorce to come through. So I think we need to take that into consideration. But if you're asking me a yes or no, I would say no. It's not. You shouldn't. It is an offense to sleep with someone. Yeah, all right then. I agree with you. Yeah.
Anyone wants to take on this one?
Honestly, so I'm gonna say this on two aspects: daddy freeze, taste buds, and the ex-husband of taste buds. They all committed adultery. I'm not judging. I'm just according to what the Bible standard says, especially for, like I said, I don't know what kind of religion he's practicing. I'm gonna let that be, okay? But
Nice
he
one.
committed adultery. And like I said, you know, the Bible says that you do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man shall reap what he sows. We all offend God. We all sin, myself
Mm,
included. But when you sin and you repent, God forgives you. But God also wants you to learn from your mistakes. I personally do not, and I'm not judging him. I do not think he has learned. I do not think he has recovered. I think that he's emotionally traumatized from his first marriage. That lady showed him shege banza on 10 levels. How
she
my
showed the
reset him.
madness.
How my dealt to him. There's certain things I cannot say about Uncle Beno. I'm sure you know about that.
Jesus.
And that woman reset
Jesus.
him. And do you know that he does not even have access to his own biological children?
He doesn't have access to any of them. It's really
Cannot
bad.
see them again for the rest of his life. So you're dealing with a man who has complex issues. So is and this lady was, he said single. She wasn't single. She was separated from that man, and the man, they had it took 9 years because the man was not trying to sign those divorce papers. That's the other angle that people are not talking about.
But why wouldn't you
So he
sign when
was
you're on the down
so
low?
she was still married to this man. So let's be honest, he was sleeping with another man's wife, and she was sleeping with, I don't know when his divorce happened. Another man who has got, let's be clear that he was still also married to the
Really?
Banza wife when he was
Really?
dating. Yes, I've studied
This one not
history from
complex,
time
though.
past. So we have to have facts. So he was
No, but
still married and going through divorce from his
yeah, but
first
can I
wife
say something?
and
Yeah,
sleeping with this woman. So Uncle Beno, with all due respect, all
yeah,
of them committed adultery, and it's terrible.
yeah.
But
Can
in
I say something?
common law, they will say that he shouldn't wait for 9 years. We can all agree on that. But is
Yeah,
it right before the one who owns your life? That is God
I
Almighty.
do agree. Like I
I
said to
rest
you,
my case.
when I divorced, yeah, I had no intention. That's why I said that. It's just me, and I'm not Jesus. Maybe it's just the vibe that I had at the time. I didn't talk to anybody to at least 2 or 3 years after my divorce. I went back to my first son's dad. But that's me. So I'm just trying to show a bit of grace because, like I said, I'm saying it now. Would I, if the tables was turned and I was in their shoes? I don't like to be a hypocrite. That's the type of person I am. Would I wait 9 years? No. So maybe I would have
Right,
committed
but this
adultery. I'm just
situation,
being real.
to answer Marriott's question, Daddy Freeze had not been divorced from his wife when he met Taste Buds. They were
I
not
did
living
not know
together. They
that.
were separated, and their battle was still in court. It got finalized a few years ago. So Daddy Freeze, whether you're separated, until you get the divorce document, read what even though there's certain parts of the Bible that talk about exceptions to divorce. Dude, you were still married, dude. So that's one angle. Taste buds, your husband wasn't trying to sign the papers. That's why it took them 9 years, apart from the BS that goes on in the courts in Nigeria. So let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. All of them committed adultery. There is no argument
No, but
sitting in like for 2 hours. That if it cannot, you committed an offense. And as a
I
man of
agree
God,
with
I
that,
don't even
Sade.
expect you to come out and be saying all these things. Me, I don't like to talk without facts. These are things that
I,
this same man that's cursing people said himself.
yeah. But the thing is, Sade, yeah, is that we're focusing on his case. See, one thing I'm all about is transparency. We're focusing on his case. Every single person in Nigeria, or more or less 90% of married men, would do exactly what Daddy Freeze or are doing it. And that's
Okay,
my
well,
problem.
when I was
We're
going
dealing
through my
with the
divorce,
case
to answer,
now.
sorry to cut you off, but to answer Maria, since she doesn't agree with that, if you're separated, you can date, but why should you sleep with somebody when you're
Uh,
not divorced?
I do
Think
agree. I
about
did
it
it
in
myself.
those terms.
Listen. I'm talking from a point of view that I already knew I'm not dating anybody until I had my decree absolute. But we're not talking
Right.
about me.
No,
That's
not
me.
you, honey, babe. I'm saying in
Yeah,
general. I don't have
yeah,
any problem.
yeah.
You can date, but should you be sleeping with someone when you're not divorced? Really?
What
Yeah,
happened?
that's a bit. Yeah, I suppose so. I'm just trying to be great. I'm trying to try a bit. I'm just trying to show grace to Daddy Freeze because it's a long time. But I hear what you're saying.
It's
Let
a
me.
long time, but there were factors. He was battling his first divorce battle, and he hadn't been fixed. He was, and that other one was trying to get that her special case of a husband to come to sign papers. You have two people who were having problems with their spouses, not trying to. Daddy Freeze's mother, if not for her, I think that case will still be ongoing.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out a couple of things here before we move on to like the third part. First, what CC say here, I find it really true. How is DF calling himself a pastor and he doesn't agree he committed adultery? And I think, based on what I've heard him rant about today, I think the reason that the freeze is ready to fight this battle to the last is that if he agrees that he actually committed adultery, and it is proven that before his divorce case was finalized, he was already sleeping with taste bud, that might also work in favor of his ex-wife. Because the moment I saw that today, it just like I was about to start arguing with the MOP backstage. I think if I found myself in Daddy Freeze's shoe, I would have paid that 5 million naira and let all this just go away a long time ago.
Uncle
Because
Ben, but we're talking
adultery is
about somebody that's not in
adultery.
his right state of mind.
Yeah, adultery
That's so true.
there is no two way about it. So there's no need to even go to court and argue this. You just pay it and you move on. And then Marriott also has another point here that I want us to look at. Mario say, do we want separated people to stay in limbo for eons? Okay,
That's what I
now
was trying to say.
here's the thing. I think we've discussed this on Obodoyinbo TV one time, and the general consensus was that if people are still going through their divorce and they want to date, they should move in silence. I think they should move in silence, and that is still what I will subscribe.
Totally.
Because
Totally.
if your divorce is not finalized in the in the eyes of the law, even in our traditional law, so far you have not returned our bride price, you are still our wife. You saw this dude, this senior Mugopak Yuledoche, I think about 3 weeks ago, he came out and pushed a video out there and said, nobody should be sleeping with another man's wife. If the woman has not divorced, you can't be sleeping with her. Blah, 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 blah. He's trying to say the same thing. And I think he was right. Okay. The same goes to what was this guy everybody don't even like to hear his name, Juju Israel. I think there was a time
That one self get problem.
he was crying.
Leave that matter. Leave that one, please. Just continue.
There was a time Israel was crying on social media that Sheila is still married, don't sleep with her and all that. But to be honest, these guys, they might come off as if they are acting like clown or something, which I don't think so. I think they are just fighting for their right. I don't subscribe to women sleeping with another man when your divorce is not finalized.
I agree. And that's why I moved the way I did, because my ex-husband, as much as he was he did not want me to divorce him. He can never tell anybody that Honey Babe committed adultery, but that's me. I personally believe that if to avoid all this nonsense, but then again, it's 9 years, so I'm trying to give grace, but ideally, make sure you have your degree absolute or whatever the equivalent is in Nigeria, so that you know in the eyes of God that you have not committed any adultery. Like, no one can step to me and tell me that, listen, that Honey Babe committed adultery. My ex can never open his mouth to tell anybody that. But that's me. So I just think that personally that you should do things in the right way. But I'm just trying to show a little grace because of the amount of time they've spent trying to, obviously Tastebuds trying to get her divorce.
So my thing is, you comes out to say what he said, but let's not forget that Judy is still married to another man.
Huh?
And yes, Judy is still married to Mr. Obasi.
Yes,
They are not divorced. So
Mm-hmm.
he is sleeping with another man's wife, and he's also prevented the man from having access to his children. It goes back to what I said. And guys, I'm sorry, sometimes I get excited and passionate. My phone is loud, so sorry if I was yelling, not like that.
Go
But
on.
No, no, we're listening to you. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying
but
it. Continue.
we're talking about daddy freeze. I said all three parties committed adultery. My only thing is that one thing I like. I'm afraid of God and I'm afraid of hellfire. I don't know about anybody, but I'm afraid, Sha. Because at the end of the day, how can you sleep with somebody else's husband, knowing fully well that they are, and be bringing curses upon yourself? There are consequences for that. Daddy, I'm not saying daddy freeze. You should never have publicized you were dating this woman. You should have done things quietly, and whether you went and repented before the Lord, keep that between you and God. And then when everything comes out and is finalized, then do your marriage and do everything. Remember that this man got married and they hadn't even done divorce. It angered the ex-husband.
Isn't that why he came to the UK? Because he couldn't do it in Nigeria. Did he not come to the UK to get
Exactly.
married? Hello,
He
that
traveled.
says
He
it
went to
all.
London to get married, and the lady's
Yeah.
divorce had not even happened. So how can you call yourself a pastor, but you committed adultery? You broke certain parts of God's biblical commands, and then you're out here defending yourself and saying that you did not sleep with another man's wife. You did. I would have expected you to just issue a statement. Please allow us privacy as we apologize for anybody I heard about my actions. You know that kind of thing, Uncle Ben. Please,
Mm-hmm.
please give us privacy as we go through this process. Look at what's the name of that guy, Basket Mouth, and his wife. There are some elements of things going wrong, but both parties did not come out to air their dirty linen on the streets. Daddy Freeze put his story out there. He even said that he was still married.
But he's been
So
talking. Sorry,
and talking
Sister
about it for
Shade.
years. He even
He's been
invited
talking
people
about it for years.
into
Yeah. Sorry
his
to interrupt.
argument. So how do you say you didn't commit adult? Dude, you did. You were with another, regardless of what offense the other man was doing, you were still doing something with somebody else's property, and she was still doing something with somebody else's property. Oh Jesus.
But can I say something? I think the problem is that obviously we're highlighting this case, but me obviously looking at the culture, looking at Nigeria, no disrespect, all of them are doing it. So for anyone to now say that, how can he call himself a pastor because he's committing adultery? Let's
I'm
just
glad you
open our
said
eyes.
that, honey
They're
babe.
all
All of
bloody
them are
doing it.
doing it, but does that
They're
mean that
all
we
doing it.
but does that mean that we should do it? If you see your friend
Of course,
stealing,
of course
will you
not. Of
join your
course
friend
not.
to steal? Me, I will stop being your friend
Lala,
that day.
of
I will
course not.
block your
Of
number. You
course
will not
not.
see me again.
And that's the reason why, because other people have done it. I don't know their names. I'm not really into the whole Nigerian pastor thing. Why is he gonna admit he's committed adultery when many other pastors that have done it, that he's obviously exposed their business, haven't admitted it? So I think it's a case where he's seen other people do it, and he's like, they're getting away with it. Why should I admit something that other people are doing on a daily basis?
I don't doubt that he loves taste buds, but I agree with what Uncle Ben said. He should have done these things privately.
So
Let's be honest,
totally.
honey babe. If he had done everything privately, do you think anybody would be accusing him of anything?
No one would have known. I totally agree with what you're saying. There's some things you do in silence. He should have basically kept everything on the down low so that nobody knows. But he's been talking about this for years. So
Publicize
unfortunately,
everything.
yeah.
Put baby freeze over there. We knew you had baby freeze. We knew this was cooking. We knew X, Y, and Z. And then
Yeah,
my
everything.
ex-husband is watching internet. If it was you, he would pay you too, man. Forget it.
Yeah, well,
You'll be
it
paid.
was.
God.
The man wants punitive damages. He wants money.
Guys, my sisters, do you see what I highlighted on the chat right now?
What happened?
Look, you won't put me for wahala.
Look, when you invite them, Daddy Freeze, me, I am going to bring 7 pastors in my house to come and be praying for Uncle Ben, okay?
Because he would not be insulted. If you bring him on, anything you say that will upset him, it will insult your ancestors. So are you ready for that?
It
Please
doesn't
don't invite
matter. We are
that
all
man. Tell you
Yoruba now.
another story.
Oh my God, this
He sets
is
ring
kind of fun.
lights. Uncle Ben, he sets ring lights. Who asked him? He sets ring lights. And he started with cursing people. Wow.
Yeah.
Number 1, I didn't sleep with anybody's wife. Number 2, I didn't commit adultery. Did you tell God that?
I know it's hard for people to admit
I think it's the emotions. Like I said, it's triggering him. everything they're talking about is really regarding this issue is really triggering him. And like I said, it would make sense to step back, control your
But
emotions,
when we were
and
both
make.
going through crisis, did we come and publicize ourselves? My ex was busy posting stupid things on social media. You know what we
Yeah.
did? We collected the evidence and gave it before the judge. And he just
Exactly.
used it
Yeah.
against him. End of story. I didn't come
Yeah.
and join you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Grace Mercy said, he will come here and shake me for all of us.
Me, I'll run away.
No, Daddy Freeze will do that. He
Uncle Ben, what's your
understands.
take on that? Do you think he committed adultery?
Yeah,
Yes,
let's hear, Sha.
yes, he did. That's why I use that biblical verses to back it up. So it won't be like, okay, Ben, where are you bringing this from? He committed adultery. Yes. The thing is,
You guys are not giving him any grace at all. Am I the only one that's defending
Honey,
it?
babe, it's not about not giving him grace.
no,
I'm saying,
no.
go ahead, Uncle Ben.
See, I gave him grace already. And like I stated earlier, I don't blame him and I don't blame Taste Bud. And the reason I don't blame them is because that divorce process took too long. 9 years is so
Exactly.
long.
But they
And
were doing Pepper Them Gang.
yeah, and the reason I gave him grace again is that I think when Daddy Freeze found Taste Bud, he genuinely loved her.
Yes.
I think
Totally.
yeah, so, and I think Taste Bud also found the man who understood her, the man
And vice versa.
who wants her with all her baggages. And that is what I'm saying. A lot of women right now are currently in that shoe that Taste Bud has been. They have been in emotionally abusive relationship or marriage, and they finally came out. By the time they come out, they already have kids. I think I did a show where I was making a joke that, look, if you marry some woman, if you really want to do Nigerian style, you knock them with with babies so fast. And that is what most men who are really not there in Nigeria, that is what they do.
Yeah. Is that in Nigeria? Because it doesn't work here. Trust me, it don't work
And he
here, man.
also has a very, very good relationship with her children.
Mm-hmm. So
because one of them comes on his shows with him sometimes when she's out of school.
Exactly. And that's why I said, I think for Taste Bud, because in all of these, Taste Bud is actually the one I sympathize with the most. Honestly speaking, I don't know her, I don't have any one-on-one or any rapport with her, but that woman come across as a very intelligent and a kind of matured lady. I've never seen her drag anybody or in fact go after anybody. And even today is the first day I had her talking underground why Daddy Freeze is live. If you look at Daddy Freeze live show, Daddy Freeze run almost 80% of his live show straight from his bedroom. You can tell do this in his bedroom. And the time Daddy Freeze goes live, I don't think Daddy Freeze even sleep, because sometimes I will be at work at 6 p.m., 7:30 p.m. here in Texas. And at that time, Nigeria will be around 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Daddy Freeze will still be live. And this man is going live in his bedroom, which means either the wife is sleeping in another room or the woman is on the bed there. She just kept quiet. But what I'm saying is that today is the first day I actually heard her speaking underground while Daddy Freeze is talking, and I really felt for her. Somebody want to call in? Hey, Jesus. The last time when I shared my number for people to call in, people were watching the replay and they were coming back to call me. The fact I've received call. So I say I don't pass my boundary. But anyway, Sister Emily, because you asked, you can call this number. Let me see if I can get you connected to the roadcaster so we can hear your point. All right, sister, if you want to call in, you can call that number. Let's hear your view as far as this is concerned. But please, when you call in on Uncle Beno's channel, I don't like three things. I don't like people who are disrespectful. Please do not swear or curse anybody out. express yourself, give your opinion, and that is it. But please do not use any languages that you know you will not appreciate if someone else use it for you. All right, to sisters who want to call in, go ahead and call. I hope this is your call already. Hello.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks for sharing the number. Thank you so much.
Is that Emily?
Yes.
Emily, where are you calling from?
US.
Oh, now my people, I see your number already. I just want to confirm. After now, you did.
I do well, Lou. I do well.
All right. Yeah, she's laughing already.
Yeah, I joined your show the other day. The last time you had, I don't know if that was the last show. It was you were talking about people to contribute. People who are for Sophia.
Yes.
To contribute their opinion why they are supporting Sophia, but we are not talking about Sophia today. I just want to chip in my own contribution regarding the daddyfreeze situation.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I am a Christian, a practicing one at that, but I want us to tell ourselves the truth. I'm not judging anybody. Everybody has their opinion. Okay,
Absolutely.
We know how divorce cases goes. I believe that once people are legally separated, if you guys have been legally separated, each party has the right to move on with their lives. I watched a bit of daddyfreeze's show. I joined his show today. It was about the end. But what I picked from that show, he said something about his wife is that his wife separated from the husband, from her ex. I think she was 34 years old, and now she's 45.
Yeah.
And they are divorced. They granted them divorce. I think, is it 2 or 3 years ago? Something like that. So, putting ourselves, that is me thinking that, and sometimes some divorces take 10 years. Sometimes even it goes all the way to 12, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman who is in their 40s, I'm just saying, a woman in her 40s is full of life. Maybe you had 1 child, 2 children. You want to move on with your life. I heard some of my sisters say that they can date, they have to be low-key. Why do you hide? That because we cannot hide in the eyes of God. We can't. Because you cannot date an active man and you tell me you date them for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years with no sex. That's impossible. As adults, you guys have I don't think there's any man in their 40s who will be dating a woman for 5 years without any sex. There must be something wrong with that man, or he will be having sex with another woman. We should be practical. When we are saying these things, I know the Bible says that, in the people say it's adultery. Are we sure it's adultery? These 2 people are adults, they separated, and they've been in court, because before marriages go through divorce, you separate from your spouse first. However it is, you leave the house, or you guys are still in the house. Before it goes to court, maybe you guys have not been talking or whatever, then you sue the person to the other, whoever is taking you to court. You go to court. Okay, from this time, the court tries to mediate, see how you guys, first off, they will tell you guys, okay, you have to be away from each other for 6 months. They see how they can fix things, if you guys can come back together. If that doesn't work, then they pronounce you both like you are separated. You both are legally separated. While you're fighting your divorce in court, you are not couple anymore.
But I want to ask something, Sister Emily, if I can quickly
ahead.
ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you mean by legal separation? I don't think this is applicable in Nigeria.
It is. What I mean is, whereby, sometimes depending on what the suit is for, you understand, if the person was abusive, sometimes they give you that kind of restriction that you are not allowed to go close to this person or close to where they are, maybe 100 meters where they are, something like that. And sometimes they tell you both, you are not allowed to discuss this situation until after the case is like in public.
So
You're
you're
not
misquoting that. That's not legal separation.
Um,
That's not legal separation. Sorry.
What you're you're making a very wrong statement.
Sade,
That's a restraining
and,
order, barring you from getting in
Sade
contact.
and Honey Babe. Unfortunately, I don't think Sister Emily can hear you because I have her on roadcaster. So
Okay.
she's
Sorry.
done.
So Uncle Ben, what she's saying is wrong. It's called a no contact order prevents you from contacting the other side. That is very wrong.
Hold on, please. Hold on, please. Let her finish and then we can correct it because the roadcaster will not let her join us unless she turn on her the volume of her TV, and that will bring echo. So let her finish and then we will now address her issue. Sister Emily, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to round up anyways. To me, I feel it's been anyways, the man has never stopped from what I know. He's been on the case. It's been an ongoing from his side. I think from what I heard, the divorce they granted them divorce, and he went ahead and filed lawsuit that the woman was committing adultery with daddyfreeze.
Yes.
So they were having an affair while they were still married.
Yes.
From the first time, how I understood it, he went to high court in one state in Nigeria, and they granted him. Judgment was passed. They call it a non-show whatever absenteeism something. So they passed the judgment to his favor. That the freeze was never served the letter, or his wife. So they went out to the next. I think they brought it to his knowledge or however he got to find out that he's been fined 5 million. He went to the Supreme Court, not Supreme Court, I think Court of Appeal.
Yeah.
And they said because he did not they agreed with him that he did not receive the letter from the High Court, but they said they cannot judge like I don't know how he put it, that they cannot take the case. It's above so he had to go to the Supreme Court. That is where they are now. However, to me, I don't know. I think because people under the comment section, his comments, what I saw people were writing, oh, the man is crying. I think he said something that he's not married yet. Yes, sometimes you love some people don't know how to love. Yeah. Or they may have this very good person, they don't see your importance. And maybe, just maybe, because they have children, I think 3 or so, 3 children in that marriage, 3 or 4 children. And I want to believe these kids are with daddyfreeze. I wrote under his comment section and asked a question. Are the kids visiting their father? I don't know if he ever answered, because as soon as I dropped that question, I was at work. I had to go to work.
You have to go and rewatch it to know whether he answered it or whether he swear.
No, I won't say what I to be honest, as soon as I put the question, I locked out. That's when I left the live show. So I just feel that if this man is paid after 12 years, it's because he doesn't have access to his kids. I don't think it's all about the wife.
Okay, thank you.
What can 5 million do to him?
Yeah, thank you, Sister Emily.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for calling in, Emily from USA. We really like that. So now we're going to address some of the issues that you raised, okay? Sister Sade, you want to go first?
So I want to make a few corrections. She made some statements that I find very concerning. Number one, a no contact order is only issued in the case of domestic violence and threats to life. So that doesn't happen in a civil case. Most people, if you're filing a divorce case, everybody knows that don't contact the other side. But some people, even if they're getting divorced, may have a good relationship and still talk to themselves, and who cares? So I don't understand why you're saying that I'm a Christian and all of those things. I disagree. So God's law is God's law, and the law of the land is the law of the land. Proverbs 6 verse 29 says that, so is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. So why are we saying that it's okay for him to do what? Come on now. Let's apply let's apply the facts to the facts. Under the eyes of God, what all parties did is wrong. He had no right to be sleeping with her. He had no right to do
Exactly.
all those things. And when we said down low, I'm not saying don't date, but why are you publicizing it on social media? And if it was so good, and if he was not committing adultery, why did you go to London to get married? Make it make sense.
Exactly.
He's not taking
You
accountability
Why
for
are
his
you
actions.
penalizing why are you penalizing the UK? We didn't want to, it's not our fault that we hosted him.
Daddy freeze. You cannot, you have to understand that you are entitled to your own opinion, you are entitled to your own decision. But God is going to hold you to a higher standard because you said you're a preacher. Now, I don't know what kind of preacher you are. Now, that's questionable. But I'm saying you cannot be having a church of the free nation and then doing things that are contrary to God's law.
Yeah, you actually nailed it, Sadi. Shout out to Man of Prestige in the house.
I know Man of
Man of Prestige is still gonna come back and do something on on this matter.
Can I say something as well when you get a chance?
Yeah, I can't wait to hear Man of Prestige take on this one, this particular daddyfreeze bass goes, because I saw Man of Prestige left a comment earlier when he said it is adultery, not adultery. MOP, why now? Oh my God. We have another caller here.
Can I say something before you get the caller? Because I wanted to respond. I don't know. I can't really talk about the US because that's not. I don't really know much about divorce in the US. But I know in the.
Caller, please hold on. Go on. Go on.
I don't know much about the US because I don't live in the US. But I know in the UK, when you file. When you now want to divorce, there is a box where you can ask for a legal separation.
Wait, honey babe, hold on, please. Hello, caller.
Yeah.
Is that Emily again?
Yes, this is Emily.
Okay, please hold on. Honey babe is trying to respond to what you said earlier. I'll come back to you shortly.
Sorry. I just want to repeat myself. I don't really know anything about the US because I'm not based in the US. But when I got divorced, there is a box where you can ask for a legal separation. We are not talking about that. You are applying for a divorce, and if you go for a divorce, you go through certain stages. You now basically do the application. It goes to your ex-partner. They have to respond. It now goes back to court. This is in the UK. I don't know about anywhere else. And then what is supposed to happen?
Babe, same thing. You're good.
Yeah. So basically, that happens, and then there you get the decree nisi. Within that before you get your decree absolute, which is when you are finally divorced, you have a decree nisi. Then when you get your decree nisi, you have 6 weeks in order for you to now decide, oh, I want to still stay married. You got that 6 weeks of grace for you to now decide, I don't want to go through with the divorce no more. I want to stay married. Once the 6 weeks have now gone, you are now divorced. You now get a copy of your decree absolute. So I just want to correct the fact that nothing goes through until you get your decree nisi. You are not legally separated until you have that, and that is just for the 6 weeks till you get your final divorce papers. Or, like I said before, you can apply for legal separation. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were going back and forth with divorce. They were finally legally separated before they had to decide about money, finances, and the kids. In that case, they were legally separated. So you can now obviously decide to be with someone else. So I think we need to be very careful when we're talking about divorce. If you've not been through it, I think you need to be very careful and understand the legalities of what divorce actually entails.
Okay, thank you there, honey babe. Thank you. Just to add to what Sade said earlier and Emily, the daddy freeze marriage that took place in London, that one shocked me. That wedding he had in UK, I got to be honest with you, it shocked me because I'm like, DF, are you trying to avoid spending money for a wedding occasion in Nigeria? That is why you went all the way to the UK? Or is it because your friend was going to finance the wedding? That's why, because I just can't marry those two together. But now, having listened to what Sade said, and coming from Emily, I kind of have the idea that Baba is probably trying to run away from whatever bad blows that may happen in Nigeria if he had that wedding in Nigeria. But whichever way it is, the credit goes to the wife. Like I said, the wife is the only one I sympathize with in all this, to be honest. Both DF and the ex-husband, I really don't like how they go about it. If I'm in DF shoe, like I said earlier, I would have paid that 5 million naira and shut it down just like that. That is just wanting to pay where you really find love. But DF did not pay. And then the other man, who happened to be Mr. Gabriela, allegedly, also suing daddyfreeze when you refuse to sign the divorce paper for almost 9 years. Come on now.
He was dragging that case and dragging the case.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that Emily was saying is the children that I wanted to correct that. Those children are not Daddy Freeze's biological children. The only child that him and Taste Buds have together is the young boy, that baby Freeze that he shows from time to time.
Yeah.
Based on the terms and conditions of his other marriage, because remember that when he got married in UK, uncle was still married and his divorce was not even finalized. He cannot see his biological children for the rest of his life. That does not even make sense. Hey.
I think he can see them when the children grow up.
Yeah, maybe later, but for right now, he can't. And I'm sure this, maybe this thing that he was doing with Taste, but we're doing Pepper Dem Gang on social media. Maybe, his ex-wife, I don't know. According to she could have been vindictive and said, you know what? That's part of my problem too. Uncle, on the other hand, was saying, oh man, I'm going to divorce you for 9 years, man. Whether I be Gabriel or Angelina, man, I'm going to show you Shege Banza myself.
Please hit the like button. So now we all agree that DF committed adultery, right? I think, except for a few people in the comment.
I agree, but like I said, I have I've highlighted it because I believe there's mitigating circumstances. That's just me.
Even Marriott is saying Bible, as if sex, while separated, is the only sin people commit per day.
But Uncle Ben, you said that Nigerian men cannot hold themselves. What is the number one in all the Wahala Pro Maxes that we've heard in all the news blogs? What's the number one talk? Kerewa.
Yes, so
agreed. Yeah, I agree.
What I said in my opening monologue is that if you as a woman, if you meet a Nigerian man and you guys are having committed relationship and the man is telling you, the Nigerian man agreed
Uncle
that...
Benno.
Yes, Emily is back. Yeah. All right, Emily.
It's Emily again. Okay, so I'll ask my question now. This is, okay, before I ask that question, I want to correct, I was saying that under daddyfreeze's comment section, I read people say that the man is still jealous, is missing the wife, the ex-wife, as it is now. So to me, I was just saying that I put a question to the under the comment section, are the kids. I know that there are kids she has with her first marriage.
Okay.
So I was asking, I know those kids live with daddyfreeze. I asked that, are the kids visiting their father? He could be pained that the kids, he doesn't have access to the kids. It could be his pain because people are saying that it's a long time, 12 years, why is he still going about it and all of that. You understand? So that is why I put that question. I just wanted to know where his pain is coming from.
Okay.
Because I don't think 5 million is a big thing whereby somebody will tie their life down for 12 years. You're chasing 5 million. That's crazy. Anyways,
all right.
I want to come back and ask that auntie, the one that spoke first.
Okay.
That
I'm not auntie. My name is Shade. Please don't call me auntie. I'm sorry. Don't address me as auntie.
Going for 9 years, like we all know.
Okay.
Do you know if the woman finally apply or sue for legal separation? We don't know it because, like you rightly said, I don't know how Nigerian laws work, and to be honest, even in America, I've never been divorced. I just like divorce case is just what I watch. I watch this divorce court and all of that. I know sometimes those things are just acting. They are not real.
Yeah.
Some of them are real.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm not saying I've never been into a divorce court, and from friends who have been divorced, I cannot say firsthand I know exactly what is going on in there. No, I'm just speaking from that perspective. I know that you can file for legal separation, especially when it's dragging for years. You have to move on. For women,
you are correct. In terms of that, Sister Emily, I'm Honey Babe. I was the second speaker, and that's what I was trying to emphasize. That you. Okay, sorry. I'll let her talk. Then I didn't know that she can't hear me. No problem.
And I think if we say that if they were legally separated or from the time, because that baby, the baby they have together is 9 years. So before the baby came, let's say a year before, let's say they met 1 year, 10 years today, they've been separated. She and her husband for what? For 2 years before she met. I'm just like assuming that she was separated with her husband 2 years before she met daddyfreeze. So I don't think they committed any adultery. We should, because God himself, if we both, first of all, I ask a question, how do people get married? You meet first, you fall in love, you agree to be married, to become one. If you guys have agreed to separate, or if one person says, I can't do again, one person cannot be in a marriage. It takes two to be in that relationship. If somebody says, okay, you see this thing is not working, I'm out, and they've made it known to you that they are no longer there, between them and their God, I'm done with this thing. If the court is dragging, probably she already returned her bride price long before they are dealing with the divorce. That one, traditionally, it's been taken care of. Or the love, the two people, they already agreed. Okay, say because the man was dragging, he did not agree to be separated from his wife. But the wife said, I'm not doing anymore because he's not been treating me fairly in this relationship. I don't want to do anymore. I want out.
Okay.
You cannot say that if the man said, no, you are not going. You cannot say that because she moved on, she's committing adultery. No, she already made it known. She did not go. She was not in her house or in her marriage, sleeping with another man. I don't consider that as adultery.
All right. Thank you, Sister Emily.
To do with it to me.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Emily. So what you establish as your stand is that both DF and the wife, they did not commit adultery. You are standing on the basis that because they are maybe separated legally, so that means all the kerewa they are having is within in the context of legal separation. But let me quickly say this before Honey Babe give up 2 cents. In Nigeria, there is nothing like legal separation. Let me just say that now. We don't have that in Nigeria. And how do I know that there is no legal separation? If the first court can award 5 million naira to Mr. Paul, the ex-husband, that means the law have recognized that no legal separation. The woman is still married to him as at the time she had that baby with DF. That's why they say DF should pay 5 million. So that is where, that's my own take anyway. All right. And Honey Babe, you were gonna say something before we move back.
I was gonna say that what you said now makes sense. I didn't realize that you've just confirmed. I assume you're right. You wouldn't give fake information that there's no legal separation. In the UK, you can ask for legal separation. It's in the application when you obviously want to divorce. So it makes sense now that obviously that anonymity is, that situation is out of the basket, because it doesn't matter, because in Nigeria there's no legal separation. So again, even though I have grace, I agree with you, he committed adultery.
Yeah.
So the thing here is, back to what she was saying, she said the Supreme Court, that the statement that she made also was very incorrect. The courts rejected his argument. When he submitted his appeal, they said that he committed adultery, and therefore, based on their findings and blah 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 blah, it is it's adultery, and they're wanting 5 million. Daddyfreeze said himself today that he's going to the Supreme Court. So go and file. How do you just go to the Supreme Court?
He already filed.
So let us hear what happened. The Supreme Court is going to uphold the verdict of the lower court, because it doesn't have anything to stand on. And then the other thing that I was going to say is, because Nigeria does not have legal separation. And because
No.
Nigeria doesn't have legal separation, all three sides committed adultery. And that's what
Yes,
people need to
I agree
understand
with
that.
that.
And then my thing is, as a believer, the Bible tells you that a woman is bound to her husband as long as he lives. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 39. The Bible
Preach,
tells
man,
you that
preach.
in Matthew
Preach.
5:32 that
Hmm.
anyone who marries a divorced person also commits adultery unless your partner dies. And there's certain
I
parts of the
beg,
Bible that
leave
talk
that
about
matter, leave that matter. Then
no, I'm
leave
just
that
saying that
matter, leave that
no,
matter,
hold
because
on,
you
honey
can't
babe,
be
let me
quoting
land.
that, man.
If let me land, if we're gonna say
Don't
that
be
I'm a
saying that.
Christian,
Don't be saying
let
that,
me
man. Don't
land.
be saying that.
Honey babe, let me land. So
Honey,
what I'm
babe,
trying to
wait,
say is
please, wait.
you cannot say that you stand on religion and then turn around and say it was okay for them to. Do you understand what I'm saying, honey babe? You can't do
Yeah.
that.
See, I agree with what you're saying, but I was divorced, not for adultery. So what are you saying regarding to
I'm
me?
talking about not for you. I'm talking about in terms of this
Okay,
daddy
because we
freeze
need to be very,
matter.
very careful because
I'm not
divorce
talking
is
about. I'm not talking
there.
about you or I. I'm talking about this
Mm,
particular case on ground.
okay,
You
okay.
cannot come out and say I didn't commit adultery, dude. You
Mm,
did. You did because you had a child with. He was dating. He started to date Taste. He met Taste Buzz when Taste Buzz had already, marriage had packed up after she found that the guy was doing committing immoral
yeah.
acts.
Mm.
So there was nothing. He started dating her immediately. They started and going out and all those things immediately while he was still married. So Daddy Freeze is missing the point. Just pay
It's
the 5 million
messy.
and go. You're exposing other
I think
things. I don't know.
what you're saying, I mean, I didn't know, you've clarified a lot of things. It's messy. It's very messy. And I think that is the reason why I moved the way I did, because I don't want anybody mentioning my name and adultery in the same sentence. It's better to
Right.
just
And
do
the
things
funny thing
nicely
is,
and cleanly. You
and
understand?
the funny thing is, if you go back to his old videos, if you go, I don't have time to. I don't like his channel. If you go through his old videos, all these things that I'm saying, that man said it himself. He gave timeline. He did
Ah,
everything. So I don't understand why he's getting angry at people going up for him today.
No. What happened today is this. Let me just do some brotherhood here. Daddy Freeze, Daddy Freeze was kind of angry today because the way the Punch published the news, it makes it seems like it's a fresh news, and that the Freeze do not want this saga to dominate the media. So I think what he was trying to do today was he was trying to get ahead of the curve. He was like, the way who did this in the past and it doesn't pay, just like MOP will say,
You
you collect, you know, go pay.
okay?
You Ledoche did the same thing when Gist Lover was going to expose him. He quickly took to social media and said, okay, I have a second wife. This is my second wife. Blah, blah,
it's
blah.
when you want to set the narrative before you know that you're going to be exposed. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
I knew it, like I said in my introduction on this show. Many of us who are into this blogging, vlogging, social media, content creation stuff, we hop on celebrity news every now and then if you want to keep the traffic going. And this is what Daddy Freeze does. Daddy Freeze drag celebrities. He drag anybody. Daddy Freeze don't drag a non-entity. If somebody don't has a name and something happened to him, Daddy Freeze will not even pick the matter. Now, when I say drag, I'm not saying drag in the negative sense. This is his business. This is his profession. This is what he does for a living. So he's into celebrity gossip as well as many other discussions. And that is how he makes his money. So when Punch News published that news today, Freeze was not having it. He just felt like, you know what? Anyway, before you people will make money on me, let me make my money. Let me be out there. Let me explain this. If you are in the Man of Prestige backstage, you will notice the first thing MOP said when he wanted to comment on this. MOP said, oh, he's dropping evidence and stuff online. So that the Freeze just feel like, you know what? Let me address this. And if we look at it from the other angle, let me still do another brotherhood here in favor of Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze married a woman who he loves, and I like the woman too. I'm not gonna lie, I don't
She's
know her,
very
but I
nice
like.
from what I've seen.
Yeah, I like her too. And Daddy Freeze probably felt the pain that woman might have been going through when she saw the news, like, oh God, I am back in the news again. And she knew she's married to Daddy Freeze, who have dragged so many people in the past. Almost 80% of Christians in Nigeria, those who are loyal to their pastor, they don't like Daddy Freeze. And any opportunity to attack anybody, Daddy Freeze himself has thick skin at times. It's just that when you are on his platform, that is where he's strong. But if it is on another platform, he will easily avoid it. But now, as a man, your wife is sad. A tabloid just published this negative news about you and your wife, and she's sad. You have to do something. So I guess that is why he said, you know what, let me go and attack Punch News. Let me tell them they did this wrong. They shouldn't have done this. They should have done that. So that's just the way I see the whole thing from my angle. And now, coming to the last part of this our conversation real quick, and this one is applicable to a lot of people, and this is where I want us to draw some lessons. Women who are divorced and the divorce is not finalized, I asked the question already. How should they date? Should they just wait until they get the paper or move in silence? I vote for move in silence earlier. And I think Honey Babe also make a good point about this topic. But what are we supposed to learn from this?
I think from my own experience, I would personally say because I don't like anybody to be, it's not like I'm not a people pleaser. I really don't really care what people think. But from my own conscience, I made sure I was fully divorced before I entertained having another relationship. That is just me. And I think this is just a classic example of what not to do. In the sense, I know it's a very, very long time in terms of being divorced. But if it was a normal timeline of 4 or 5 months, I would basically say everybody should hold themselves and wait for the divorce the ink to be dry. That's what I'd say, just to avoid all this mess.
Okay, now there is one part that we left out that I quickly want to address, and Mrs. Emily brought that into the conversation. That is the other children that the Freeze wife had for his ex-husband. It seems that with all indication that the Freeze has adopted those children and is taking good care of them. Now, Miss Emily asked the question she asked on Daddy Freeze platform, that are those children seeing their dad? Are they having any relationship with their dad? Because, like I've said severally on this platform, all the things we are seeing on social media now, they are not exceptional cases. They are not isolated cases. Real life. People are going through this every day. You can see the same thing now, based on what Sister Emily said now. The same argument we're having about Davido and Sophia. You might need to have access to that and all that. That's the same point Sister Emily just made right there. And the feeling I have about this, even if I say my mind, DF no go like him. If I should tell you what I think was going on based on my knowledge of how men operate in Nigeria, even DF no go like him.
Uncle Ben, please share your idea.
Honestly.
Please share.
Please, Uncle Ben, share facts. Uncle Ben, please say
you won't like it. This is what I think is going on as far as the children is concerned. When that man did the nonsense he did, the ex-husband, and the wife caught him, it became a very huge fight. And before he got to that point, according to the interview that the Taste Board had with Linda Ikeji, that man have made her went through several emotional abuses. She has been abused emotionally, spiritually, and even she was denied kerewa, because there's something about men that go below. May we no lie, may talk am. Men will be said that they do the other side. When they see woman no they be anything for their eye. That is just what it is. Man, where they like that, if you are married to them, I am sorry, they will give you all the excuse in this world not to sleep with you. Not where you feel do. They will always find something wrong with you that will make them not to come. In fact, anytime a woman is having their period, they are happy. That's just their nature. Now, it is allegedly, we don't know if that is right or wrong, but that is what she said. Now, when she and her husband have this issue going on, I think the man did what most Nigerian men will do under those circumstances. And that is, just like the video, fuck it, I'm off this. Meaning, you and your children, you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want. I don't want to have anything to do with you. That is most of the attitude you get from a typical Nigerian man. I'm so sorry. Not all Nigerian men, but mostly, majority of them, that's what they will do. Once there is divorce, they will just leave the children for you. Medically, you, they carry them. And I remember Auntie B said this several times whenever she's educating women. Auntie B will say, look, when this thing happen, you, the women, you are the one that you'll be stuck with the children. You are the one to take care of the children at the end of the day. So I think that man abandoned those children with the wife. And when DF stepped in, DF accepted the wife and her kids.
Yep.
Are you following me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she doesn't look like the type of person that would deny the father, even with what he did to her. So that probably makes sense.
Let me just round it up here. I think DF accepted her and her kid, but with the kind of person DF is, I'm sorry to say, DF seems a nice man, but from what we can tell from some of the behavioral characteristics he has displayed so far, DF is the kind of man that will give his wife ultimatum. If these children are living under my roof, I'm taking care of them, anything, I don't want them to have anything to do with that man that is dragging me. I saw him drag that same man severally today. He's even challenging. DF also said something on his shoulder. If he needs money, we can be giving you 1,000. You can come, let's arrange something. Not this 5,000. So that's why I'm saying he might not really like what I have to say, but that is it. That is the impression you are giving everybody. So I know DF might give taste bud that condition that, look, if I'm taking care of these children, they love me, I like them already. Hell no. They cannot go and see that man and come back to my house. Let's sort that out. And I think Tensbot herself will be happy the way DF took care of those children. And she too will say, I don't even want my children around him. Let's just be candid here. This is my own point of view. I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. But I just have that impression that, I think Baba no one made these children see their papa. And remember something I also said about children, that when a man begins to act as a mugopak for so long, he will act to the extent that the children will grow up and discover that this papa is not worth it. He ain't shit. It's just be like American children. When American children say, hey, you ain't shit, forget, you know be shit, true with that. So that's my take. What do you think, ladies?
So DF did confirm many years ago when he was going through the whole shit, there was evidence of maltreatment. I'm not going to say that there was, what that lady is saying is true, that there was evidence of verbal, physical, and I don't know if financial abuse was part of that. I can't remember. Kerewa abuse, and a lot of things. So it taste buds. Now I've been on some of her lives. She's a very practical, down to earth person. But everybody get their own for body. So it's possible that catching him in the act of those things, and only God knows, maybe that, like you said, in Nigeria, a lot of times when a husband separates from the divorces, leaves the wife or whatever, they leave them with the children.
Yep.
And so I agree with you. Maybe DF gave him ultimatum. Who knows? Because that man is moving mad. You never know. But at the end of the day, the children seem to have a very, very good relationship with him, and of course they understand themselves. I don't know whether I wonder if he goes off on them like he goes off on his people, but truly, I don't think Taste Bud would want to prevent him from seeing his children, but the circumstances that were happening around that time may have made it difficult, for them to, because allegedly there was domestic violence, physical violence. And so that is another factor that comes into play with that. So that's what I believe. And you're right, Uncle Ben.
Yeah, thank you. Honey babe.
I basically second that, in the sense that she doesn't seem like the type of person that would, for no reason, withhold the kids. and I have heard stories and rumors of DV, so maybe that is the case. And I do agree that DF is walking, he's walking crazy. Assessment needs to be made. There's something going on with him, and I believe he's the type of person that would give Taste Buds an ultimatum that it's me, you know, if I'm going to be looking after these children, I don't want this guy around. But do remember the fact that I think one of the daughters, Taste Buds' daughters, is in uni or has graduated. She's at an age where she can decide to, catch up with her dad. So I really don't think that DF can control that. So I believe that if the children are old enough, that if they really, really wanted to get hold of their dad, they would. The question is, would they?
All right. Thank you very much, my sisters, for handling this with us. We are coming to the end of the show at this point. I see a lot of comments here today. I know there's going to be several follow-up shows on DF matter, but a lot of bloggers usually run away when DF is concerned. They don't want to touch it at all. They will just run. And it's because in Nigeria, we have these discipleship things going on. And that brings me to what somebody said in the chat regarding Sister Emily. Someone said maybe Sister Emily is one of these big-time followers of DF. I don't really think this has to do with followership. Sister Emily is calling back again. Oh, my God. Hello, sis. Oh, let me turn this on. Yep.
Yeah, you are so filled with wisdom. Okay. So that is why I asked that question. Are those kids visiting their dad? Because, like you guys say, DF is working mad. To me, what I've seen with that man, especially when he talks about his ex-wife, he gets so triggered. Like, you can see all the emotions. He doesn't see it. When people say, do you miss your kids? He said, no, I don't miss them. Missing is a strong thing. I miss them just for 6 months or 1 year, and I was lying. Good. It's a lie. He's missing those kids. There is no human being on earth children that you love, you carry those children for months. I think before they left, they were probably 6, 7 years old. The youngest was like what? Like he normally says, that bond had already been there. There is no way you tell me that all of a sudden you don't care your biological children. It can never happen. As much as he showered love on Taste Buds' children, he still misses his children. That's the truth. And in that light, I see him, he's afraid because he has some other person's children. Now, he knows what that man is going through because he knows exactly what he is going through without seeing his own children. In this fight, he's trying to traumatize that man. To me, if you ask my humble opinion, if I were a family to that person, I'll advise that man to just let it go because it's just like scratching old wounds. Because DF will traumatize him with those kids. He knows his own trauma that he's going through without him seeing his kids. So he will use those kids to traumatize that man the more. That 5 million is nothing. He himself said that the money they pay to file the lawsuit in the Supreme Court is way more than 5 million. Before you talk of the lawyers that they may have hired, because he was very, very positive that he will win. That's what he was saying in his show today. So I don't know. This whole thing, just like I advised when it was Sophia, people out of anger, African men cut across are almost the same. It takes those with.
Is that Emily? You don't give us gas, boss. African men don't collect.
He's serving breakfast.
Connected. But it's almost a normal thing to them that once they start fighting with their wives, when it gets to divorce, they try to take the kids. If they cannot take the kids all to themselves, they just go with your mom and they'll wash their hands off. A lot of them do that.
Exactly.
A lot of them do that. And out of anger, when they do that, family members and loved ones encourage them. Yeah, let her take the kids away, and then they will come back to look for you when they are grown. Not all the time. And even if I'm telling you people today, my uncle is a big example of this thing. When I was saying, I said, please, I know that whatever happened, yes, the rent may be outrageous. People are saying in Nigeria, but it's not. Among all Davido's kids, the Imadi is the least that is eating that money. Uncle Beno, in this America, do you think that girl, that baby mama in America is staying in a $1,200 a house apartment?
Mm.
No
I don't
way.
think so.
That girl can never stay in a 1,200 apartment house per month. At least she will be living in a 2,000 apartment house. And I wonder if she can even stay in a $2,000 dollars house a month. Calculate $2,000 times 12. How much is that?
Yeah.
Convert it to naira. How
Exactly.
much?
Yeah,
Just for rent.
I share your
But Sophia
sentiment on
asked
that.
for that 27 million, and it's not that pay you, David, will pay for everything. Pay just part of it. That's why I saw that she was fair. You pay part because I'm living in that house, so I'm paying my own part. You are paying the part of your daughter.
Sister Emily,
People going after that girl, I feel like they are not being just.
Sister Emily,
to be honest.
I actually have a show on that Sophia Divido setup for tomorrow. It's gonna be
What
around
time,
12.
please?
It's around 12. I go live 12 mostly, 12 noon.
Okay.
That's when I go live. 12 noon Central Standard Time. When I go live in the evening like this is if my chairman MOP is not going live and I'm actually off. Right now I'm still on vacation. That's why I can do this. But mostly I go live around 12. So I have a show on that one tomorrow.
I would really like to call in tomorrow.
No problem. The show is that the losers, the winners and losers, that's where it's gonna be on Davido and Sophia. So you are calling tomorrow and make your points known. I appreciate your contribution on today's show. I really, really appreciate you. And like I said, Uncle Beno's channel is just for people to air their opinion and then we can learn from it. And I've said this on multiple occasions. Me, myself, I'm not an expert. That's why I tell people all the time, don't take my word for it. All my own, own. I'm a traditional man with street. No, I'm just being candid.
It's good to have the Agboro knowledge. It's very important.
So don't take my advice for it. When it comes to relationship, marriage, and all that, I always tell people go to Man of Prestige. Go listen to Auntie B. We have a lot of sisters there who have excellent knowledge and advice they can give for people who actually have relationship issue. But as far as me as I'm concerned, my own is to bring the topic and then we both look at it together. So thank you very much, Sister Emily. I look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. God bless you, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So on DF, all these children and everything. Let me just say one more thing about this DF before we round up Honey Babe and Sade. Do you know one thing, Nigerian egoistic men, what we fear the most, including myself? What we are afraid of the most is strong, independent woman. Let me just be honest now.
I agree with that.
Nigerian men can't stand a strong, independent woman. When it comes to divorce, serious
matter.
Sister Emily made a very valid point right now, and I think Sade said it earlier too, which I 100% agree. DF is traumatized by his ex-wife. I'm sorry to say this. If you see this, I love you, Baba, but we just have to say it the way it is. He's traumatized by his ex-wife, and how did that ex-wife did that? He divorced my Oga DF, and not only divorced DF, she collected the children, which by most Nigerian men expectation, I'm sorry to say, my brother, I'm not betraying brotherhood, but I just have to say it. You see, Nigerian men expectation is when we divorce you and we have children, we want you to go and suffer small so that you go come back, come beg. I'm sorry to say. Most Nigerian men have that mentality that I marry you, you are now doing gra, you are now running your mouth, say, okay, when I divorce your ass, you go suffer. When you suffer, you go come back. But you see, when a Nigerian woman that is divorced, stand on her feet and say, you know what, F you, even these children, you're not going to even see them. I will take care of them. And in the case of DF, the wife did not even stay in Nigeria. This woman carried those children, come US. Forget all the jackpa angry story DF is doing. DF is just angry when he see people living abroad or something. I'm sorry to say.
You guys are stuff is doing it, mate.
Like Uncle Benno, did you see his
I totally agree.
Uncle Benno and Honey Babe Did you guys see his last show? This man was talking about his wristwatches and how much each of them cost.
He's just deflecting. He's deflecting. The pen is shacking him. Let's be real. Hurt people hurt people. Now I'm going to say something controversial. And if DF ever watches this video, I would tell him straight, go and beg that woman. Beg that woman. Go to look for the mother.
The woman did DV on him. How you gonna take back that kind of woman?
No, justice. No, not for her. For your kids. Because the thing is, you're going. Let me land, Shade, please. Let me land. Shade, let me land. Yeah. The issue is you're slagging off the mother. You're slagging off their mother. Now, I'm not saying you should get back with them, but you have to be smart. Yeah. He has no access to his children. Beg the woman just to get access to these children, because she's saying things to these children that they're not even reaching out to him. I personally would advise someone to do that. It's obvious that he's in pain. He's not seeing his biological children. He has baby freeze. But I'm just thinking that maybe he needs to apologize. Just because you apologize doesn't mean you're getting back with the person. Just to get access to your children. Because the way he's slagging this ex-wife, man, is long. And they're hearing all this. They're seeing all this. And that's the reason why he's not having access. Because these children must be nearly adults by now. And the assumption is they're not reaching out to him. Now, if he was Daddy Freeze was my dad, hell, why would I reach out to you when you're slagging off my mom every single day? You're saying things on live that I don't care if I don't see my children. Who says that?
Thank you, honey.
So I'm just saying to you that for me, for wisdom, go and beg that woman to see your children. Go and beg your children.
He said in one of his old shows that his wife, Grace said it best, he has pride. That's one. And the other thing is that he was saying that his wife was saying negative things about him to his children, and told him that even with this whole divorce and everything, that he would never see his children for the rest of his life. To me personally, I agree with you, honey babe. Daddy Freeze could easily say, I don't know how, he didn't really talk about it. He kept that private, but honestly, he should try to at least try to find a way to connect with your children.
Exactly.
That will help him heal from all his drama and things like that, because those children are not his children, with the exception of baby Freeze. And maybe that might give him the closure, but he has been bad-mouthing that man. He has said a lot of crazy things.
Exactly. And the children have heard, like, this is what I'm trying to say. You're slagging off the mother of your child more or less every single life. And you're saying stupid things like, just because of your pain and your emotions, you're saying things like, I don't care if I don't see my children. And
he's lying.
Of course he's lying. But the issue is, these lives are going back. There's no way that it's not going back to the kids. It's not going back to his ex-wife. And you wonder why, because the kids must be 16, 17. I don't know why. And they're not even reaching out to him because of his very nasty narrative. I know he's bitter. You understand? All of us.
If I can just in here regarding how painful it is for DF not having access to his children. You see, the one country, I don't know much about UK, but I know Honey Babe can help me with this.
I'll break it down for you. Go on.
Yeah. So far, so good. From my personal experience, the one country where you don't want your children to grow into teenager.
Yeah.
Before you connect with them, is America. If you have, I tell folks this, if you have issue with your wife, you guys are divorced, and then you have custody and every other thing going on. If you are not present in your children's life when they were kids, maybe age 3 all the way to like 8, all right, it's not too bad. You can still mend it. But the moment you stay away until those children become teenagers, you are gone.
Of course it is. I don't know if I think I've said this many times on your show on Auntie B. I was very much the angry ex-wife where I didn't allow my partner to see his child for 5 years. That's just 5 years. Yeah. And I own up to that. It was wrong. And I say this every time, that children need their fathers. You can be pissed with your ex. I say this every day, but it's not about you. It's the child. Now you're saying that it's not so bad when they're 5, 6, 7, 8. When they're a teenager, you have more. You have missed out on their whole childhood. There's no connection. There's
This
no
is what
connection. It's going to be really, really hard.
This is what I mean when I said not too bad. This is what I mean. I am not condoning.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for the fathers who are coming from that space that, you know what, when they grow up, they will find me. They will
don't.
Their father.
Not this Gen Z. They don't. The thing is, they don't look for you. If you leave them, they're not looking for you. Times have changed. I've seen many children, 15, 16, 17, that they're not interested in their biological father because the father has had the same attitude. Oh, I'm not gonna bother. They look for me when they're older. They won't look for you. They will now be honoring the stepfather that was there for them all the time. That's the person they will honor, not the biological dad that abandoned them. Things have changed.
And that's why I wanted to use that to explain the DF situation right now. Those kids, we have contacted some of them on social media. Let's just be frank. And the children don't give an F. Do you know how that could make a man go
crazy? Don't try it.
You know how that could make a man go crazy on that you were banking on the fact that, oh, when the children is social media, I am famous, they will see me, we can talk, we chat, and then you finally chat with them and they tell you, F you, man, we don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what that can do to a man with ego mentally?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying now? So just like people have said, I think bro needs therapy. He needs
therapy, and he needs to go and look for his kids. There must be, if the parents of the ex-wife is in Nigeria, I assume, unless they're late. He needs to go with a whole entourage and go and beg to get the telephone number, the address, beg her, go to UK and settle this matter.
Uncle,
settle this matter.
Isn't his wife foreign? I can't remember. She's foreign.
No, she's a Nigerian woman, I guess, or something.
She's Nigerian, but she's in the UK, right? Is she in the UK?
US, I think in US.
In the US. He needs to do something because this pain that he keeps doing all over his life is too traumatizing to see. He's literally breaking down.
DF is too prideful, honey babe.
It's not.
Yeah, pride can listen. If me, as in honey babe, can go and beg my ex-fiance, because I didn't allow him to see his child for 5 years. If I can to humble myself, I beg daddy freeze. Come on, man.
Honey babe, remember you said that he's moving mad. If you tell him
he must be.
Somebody's generation and that guy, I don't understand you. And he's getting older. What's he doing, man?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm talking about myself as well. We need to use more wisdom. Yes, when I come on this show, I have sharp mouth and everything. But anything I do, I think about how will it affect my child. You think I'm not cheesed off with my ex-husband when he does stupid things, but I think of the child we have together. You have to use your common sense and wisdom. You don't always have to lash out in anger.
Yeah,
Uncle
thank you.
Uncle Beto said something today that I agree with. And this is something that I've actually learned just from listening to from Obodoyibo TV, from you when you contribute, Uncle Ben, from when Uncle Olaman of Prestige comments. One thing I want, and that thing is really helping me. When people are doing dramatic, my only thing is I hate wahala. So at the end of the day, even if I'm angry, I might be going off in the four walls of my house, but I'll be like, okay, what can I do to bring peace? Like you said, honey,
exactly.
I might not be wrong, but for the sake of my mental health and forgiveness and to move on in your life, let the person go. See, Uncle Ben, this marriage ended how many years ago? And the guy keeps talking. It's affecting him. I don't think
he's still talking about it till today. It's too much.
He shows. Anytime he talks about this thing, he becomes a different person.
The thing is still shocking him, man. It's still shocking him. It's like it's like the divorce was yesterday. It's like she left him yesterday.
He doesn't want to admit that.
He can't move on, man. He can't move on. He can't move on.
Let me just be honest with you, my sisters. African men hate divorce. Let me just be honest with you. Every African man, they hate divorce. even when they are mugu packs, even when they treat their women bad or everything, we hate divorce. To us African men, divorce equals to failure.
Failure,
Now,
yeah.
some African men who are not popular, they can still say, okay, I can deal with it. But if you know Nigeria, in Nigeria as a celebrity, a very popular person, when you are divorced as a man, it's a blow. And especially a man who get mouth. We get different type of men in Nigeria. We have men who are rich, then get money, they not to get mouth. We get men we no get money, but then get mouth. And then we get men where we say they get money, they get mouth.
You're right.
So you see those one where we say they get money, they get mouth. I will not really say maybe DF is a billionaire or something, but DF is up there. He's doing good financially too. Let's just be honest. But DF gets mouth. And do you know how shameful it is for a man to attain certain level, believe that he is now an authority, he have a say, and now your wife just divorced you, and not just divorced you, she just like, you know what, I don't need any dime from you. You just go to
Yeah, she served him breakfast.
You
But
Correct.
can I just interject there? When she divorced him was before he blew up on YouTube. He was still on the radio, so he had not blown up. So I hear what you're saying, but I think we need to understand the historic timeline. When she left him, he was not as famous as he is now.
Oh, honey babe, let me just correct something real quick. Daddyfreeze has been famous for most of his time in Nigeria since he started operating. Daddyfreeze is, if you really listen to Daddyfreeze show, Daddyfreeze I'm even surprised that Daddyfreeze can flow the way he's flowing now with pidgin and everything. Daddyfreeze speaks good English. Honestly, when he has good command of English, when Baba talk, you go no say an intelligent person is speaking. I'll give that to you. Honest. And he's a very, very good host. Oh, he's like first class host. He's really good at what he's doing. So he has always been famous. Now, as far as money is concerned, I may say, okay, maybe he's not a millionaire, but Daddyfreeze has always been enjoying. He's not from a poor home. The mom is doing fantastic. The mom is okay. So Daddyfreeze is not like every other guy there that maybe they hustle on the street or something. That is why you see that Daddyfreeze love his wristwatches. Daddyfreeze, he knows fashion, he knows everything. We have to give that to him. But that divorce from his ex-wife did a number, and that is where his African masculinity comes in.
Well, isn't that the reason why
he's Lebanese? So what's he saying?
Daddyfreeze claim
he's Romanian. He's possibly
Romanian. His mom is Romanian.
Are you not going to claim your dad? Will you claim your mom? Your mom heritage.
But can I just and this is a classic example of what not to do. If you know that you're traumatized, men or women, from a divorce, you have no business getting married, because it's now affecting his marriage with taste buds. This is a classic example of what not to do. You are hurting because one woman like that divorced you. How many years ago? 12, 14 years ago. And it's still shacking you till today. You should have dealt with your trauma, got counseling before you go into another relationship. This is just lessons for everybody.
Says, honey baby, if Taste Bud should leave Daddyfreeze, he will cry. Am I lying, Uncle Ben? Taste Bud get mumu busting. Hey.
No, Taste Bud and Daddyfreeze, they are in love.
They're in love, but all I'm saying is should have done the therapy. I'm not saying they should never have got married. My thing is that he should have got the relevant counseling, therapy, whatever, because it's obviously affecting him now.
Let me ask you this one, honey babe. Let me ask you this: if you are a therapist, will you ask a client like Daddyfreeze?
Sorry. Hold on. Could you repeat the question? Sorry.
If you are a therapist.
Yeah, go on.
Why are you laughing like this? This are this now.
I didn't hear it. Come on, let me hear it, please. So on. Say again.
Honey, babe, I said, ask if you are a therapist,
Yeah.
would you accept a client like Daddy Freeze?
Lala, never. Nah, because he doesn't. The thing is, when you get to a place of therapy, you accept you need help. Daddy Freeze doesn't accept he needs help, so I wouldn't accept him as a client.
You know what?
I'm being honest.
I'm gonna ask MOP this same question tomorrow. If MOP will take up Daddy Freeze.
Wow.
Anyway,
Uncle Beno, will you take up Daddy Freeze if you are a therapist, or
Would you?
Or will you invoke your Fifth Amendment right?
You don't want him as a client.
This I did a bad girl.
I think he's just too problematic, and I don't think he has got to, even as old as he is, he still hasn't got to a stage in his life where, you know what, there's something going on with me. I am hurt. There's nothing wrong with, as a man or woman, to say I need help. There's nothing shameful in that.
Yeah, there is nothing shameful in that.
My name is Daddy Freeze, leader of the free nation.
Oh, don't start. Don't start.
Shade, don't
start. Pop my money gun. Pop my money guns.
Shade, don't start. Don't start.
Your father. Let me rapture you. Let me
stop laughing.
You're making me choke, you know.
Uncle Ben.
Oh my
God.
God.
I'm so glad I joined your platform. You're so fun.
Yeah, it was fun today. Nice meeting you, Shade. Yeah, it was fun today.
Thank you, my sister. So
thank you so much, Brother Ben, for having us. Thank you, Shade. Nice talking to you.
Babe. Oh, bless you. I love Honey Babe, man. Hey.
Didi, stop. Didi is just laughing in the comment. Didi, stop, please. The troublemaker.
Ben, you're funny. Please, will you want to be Daddy Freeze's doctor?
What happened is that I can't be a therapist in the first place. Don't make a no lie. That is why I love people who are calm, people like Man of Prestige and other doctors and all those my big sisters who are so relaxed and calm to handle it. I don't have that patient. If I am Daddy Freeze doctor, one person go kill the other if I'm his therapist.
I know. It's a lot. He's a lot. He is a lot.
You know, therapists listen to all kinds of stories. Some story that will literally blow you up. Therapists will listen and they will still maintain a stern face as if they've had nothing.
You have to be very patient and have empathy, and it's hard listening to crazy stories.
Can you imagine going to have surgery and Daddy Freeze is with you? I would be afraid I would cancel that appointment.
No, come on, Daddy Freeze is not like that. I'm just saying that because Daddy Freeze is somebody who has strong opinion and he's intelligent. Let's give him that. He's intelligent and he's argumentative and he always wants to win his argument and he know how to manipulate people into believing what he's saying. And that is why I have issue with his Jackpot series. He's doing all those Jackpot.
Yeah. He's deflecting. It's all about the ex. All that Japa is his ex.
Uncle Beno, I will be coming to your show as a regular commentator, spectator, but I promise to be my best behavior. I promise, even Honey Babe, I promise.
But don't go they make me laugh like this. I
love to laugh, y'all. I love to laugh. I just like to laugh.
The thing is, Daddy Freeze, when I watch his Jackpot series, I see how he manipulates all those guys who come from abroad to agree with his point of view.
Yeah, you noticed that. I noticed that. Yeah, very true.
Honey Babe and Uncle Ben, do you remember when he brought these guys who were saying how their wives stood them out of the house?
I
was horrified.
Yeah.
I was really horrified. You're trying to make it seem as if Nigerian women in the diaspora are bad. No.
We don't.
If you bring those, and then people were trying to tell him that he should bring the people, he was busy cussing them out. If you ask those women why they put the wives out, you hear that there was
he only likes to hear
like that.
He only wants to hear the men's point of view because he aligns with his opinion. He doesn't want to question because he's quick to take someone's view. There's always two sides of the story. So obviously, once they asked him, "What about the women?" he's gonna start cussing you.
Uncle Beno, you said that is not like that. Imagine if that man was your employer and he had to give you your performance review. Hey!
I would have sacked him long time, mate. Sack him long time.
No, there is no way that the freeze can be my employer. I have a very strong, I'm just being honest here. I have a very strong character myself. You can't be my employer. He can't even be my supervisor. He will have to fire me the next week.
People will quit the job, Uncle Ben. People will not come because of him.
Yeah, that's fees.
I'm so sorry to say, my head no correct too. If I'm working for you, you better be ready, because one, even right now, as I'm still working right now, I always have at least 3 source of income every time. I know they take and they play. Even from the day you will hire me, if you ask me, in America, they will ask you, do you have any other job beside this one? I always tell them that, well, I don't have an official job, but I have my side business. I always tell them before they hire me. And I'm always like that. I always like to have side hustle, because the day you, my supervisor or my employer, the day you go say you decrease, you go talk waiting and no like, I go explode. You go fire me, I'll come back to my house. Case closed. So if somebody like DF is my employer, he go cost me, I go cost him. That one don't this.
Honey babe, if you went on his channel and he goes off on
oh my god,
honey babe, you will finish Daddy Freeze.
The thing is, there was a time where I wanted, he was on Instagram, and I asked him to put me on live that weekend because he was flagging off Auntie B show, and I said that I come from Auntie B, can I talk? This guy didn't put me on.
No.
He didn't put me on because he was saying a whole lot of crap, and I was trying to say that no, that's not what we were saying. The guy didn't put me on. Then he started cussing Brother B.
Anyway,
you know how that turns out.
Anyway, this has been an interesting show. Thank you, honey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for hanging out with
Bye.
us. Sade, my sister, that is very funny. Bass boss lady.
Uncle Ben, I'll be back on your show, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, someone is here that I did see since. So yay, Mama Jojo. I did see her since. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Mama Jojo, sorry. We was having so much fun. Sorry.
How are you?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
How are you doing?
You all right? Everybody okay?
I'm good. Good
evening, Mama Jojo.
Hi, hope you're good.
You know what I think about Daddy Freeze? Daddy Freeze is a nar, and he was not totally and properly healed. Because
yes,
one,
totally agree. Yes,
he was not properly healed, and he jumped into that relationship, right? And number two, apparently he always bad-mouths the mother of his children, right?
You see what I'm saying? Exactly.
He always says very negative things about that lady, and now the kids, they are grown. They may not like the fact that he's drugged because the kids don't see what he's saying about their mother.
Exactly. So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He always says negative things about that lady, and he was not properly healed, and he is not innocent. And I'm so glad that this judgment came, because for so long, some of our African men have come to believe that they can be legally married and do whatever they want to do to women, and the laws do not work, especially when they are married in the statutory court, right? Mm-hmm. They do whatever they want, and I just listened to a commentary. Daddy Freeze did not break the leg, and some of our African men like that bad behavior, right? Mm-hmm. When they separate from you, instead of them going to, or women, they separate from you. When you separate from your husband, go and separate yourself the legal way, get your divorce.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally agree.
Because I feel you are holding yourself back to me, because you never know who God has for you, that you could heal properly and start a new relationship.
Yeah, end it officially, morally, legally, and then move on afresh. Totally agree.
Babe, because even when I was going through my divorce, my pastor told me, he was like, Sade, do not start a relationship with anybody until you are completely divorced.
Exactly.
That's a good pastor. Yeah. That's a good man of God.
The funny thing is that I wasn't even going to church. I was I went through a lot because I had a custody fight as well with my youngest son. But even me with my with my common sense, it doesn't make sense for me to move on to someone else when I'm not legally divorced. And that's why I said morally, even if you say you don't believe, obviously I'm a Christian, but then I was dilly-dallying because I was going through a lot. I still knew that it's not the right thing to do to entertain a man when I'm not legally divorced. Nobody, then I don't want anyone to, even though I'm not bothered, nobody can say honey babe cheated on anybody. Never, my ex-husband can never say that. And that's
of the consequences.
Honey babe.
Exactly.
On that
you know
one.
what happened? You know what happened? He incriminated himself in
Sorry,
so
what you
many
say, Brother
ways.
Ben?
Because he was always talking about that lady, and then he was incriminating. He kind of looked down on the justice system. He was saying,
yeah,
they want me
he
to
was pompous. He was pompous.
Before they want me to wait for 3 4 years. He looked down on the justice system, right?
Let's hear Mama Jojo. Let her just land so we can start to wrap up. So Mama Jojo, quickly, right on.
What I'm saying, I'm glad that this day has come, and that this day is coming gradually in Africa, where our married men and married women will have to know the consequences of their choices and the law. Because in Daddy Free mind, there was no way he felt that it was wrong, because he was parading around with that lady, and he was even incriminating and talking bad about his children's mother, right? So he was not properly healed. And here is the thing, Uncle Ben, he didn't break the people's marriage, or the marriage was already over, right? But the mere fact that she was still legally married, and he impregnated her. When she got pregnant, she went and filed for divorce. But you know, I'm surprised though, because men don't normally do this to find a man taking another man to court. You know what do you think about that, Uncle Ben? I want you to talk about that a little bit.
I think when I was starting, if you watch the video from beginning, I addressed that it's an ego thing. It's an ego thing between Daddy Freeze and the ex-husband.
He's just petty. I think he's just someone being petty. It's just someone being petty. That's all it is to me. Someone that, it's just someone that's petty. I think I can say anything else.
Okay,
that one Gabriella moves though.
Honey babe, let me quickly clear something up here.
Sure.
We are having the same conversation at the backstage at Man of Prestige earlier before I did this show.
Okay.
You see, as a man, as an African man, when you and your wife are separated and the woman has moved on, you move on.
Yes.
It depends on the kind of man she's getting involved with after she left you. This is common with a lot of African men. African men will divorce you and just look. They are still monitoring you. They are still following what you are doing.
My ex-husband did that, so I know what you're saying. But I had to knock his head and make him understand.
Why do men do that? Because if they did the right thing to that woman will not take her children and leave. So why do they do that? Be monitoring, like Honey Bay is saying, her ex-husband was monitoring her. Why was he monitoring her? He didn't have something else to do with his life?
Checking me on Facebook. I had to come on Facebook. He would come to the house. That's why I had a ring doorbell. It was quite traumatic, but I had to make him understand, me and you are done. Now, 9 years later, he got the message.
Okay, I think he wanted you back. Okay.
Ladies, do you want me to explain why
it's not possible?
Yeah, please go
African
ahead.
men? I know a lot of men might be doing it all over the world, but I'm just speaking from the people that I know as my brotherhood. The reason why we do that is this. When we divorce you as African men, we believe something is wrong with you. You are definitely the problem. That is why the divorce comes. And it doesn't matter.
Really?
Okay, when I don't want to hear the truth, I know
No, Uncle Ben, finish.
I'm just laughing. Sorry.
Please, Uncle Ben, continue.
I know my brothers will not like this, but I'm just being honest with you guys how it works with many African men. When we divorce you or you divorce us, definitely it's your fault. That's the way we have it in our head and in our mindset. You are not a good woman. You are a terrible woman. That's why we are divorcing you, or you want to divorce us. Something is just wrong with you. Now, when we leave you, our expectation is that you are so terrible, very, very bad, that no man should come for you. You. No.
Okay, I get it.
You are a bad woman.
Okay. So that's the reason why my ex decided that when I got back with my first son's father, he now took an issue to that. and try to do some kind of contact order. That's interesting.
Honey, you've been through a lot though.
So
Yeah, I've been through a lot. That's why I'm trying to, when I say stuff, it's try to make people understand you go through stuff, but that's life. You have to move on.
You've been through a lot, man. You've been through
I've been through a lot. If I tell you my story, but life is just life. It's just life.
The same people that
oh Jesus. This Grace and Mercy, this is another Wahala sister. Grace said, is that why they smell panties, bros? Grace.
That is Israel, though. That is Israel BMW. BHW.
Oh, is that Israel?
Yes, Israel was smelling his ex's panty.
That's
That guy is a
not-
madman.
What?
That is
Yes.
nasty.
He would go to the market. He would swear up and down that she went to go meet a man. She went to the market. Started to move her underwear so that he can smell it. Yes.
Jesus. Are you ladies being serious right now?
Yeah. I heard about that.
Very serious.
That was his wife?
He's sick in the head, man. Who does that?
When you see people like Israel, run for your life.
What?
Okay. So, Mama Jojo, just to give a closure to the question you asked, that is just the reason why most African men, we monitor their ex because they believe that if the woman divorced them, the woman is a bad woman. If they divorce the woman, is a bad woman. And as a bad woman, only a few men, I'm sorry to say, I just have to be honest with this, only maybe about 5% out of 100 men usually wish their ex good luck after divorce. They expect her to end up with somebody who is not up to them, who is not doing as good as they are, and they expect her to live this kind of miserable life that they can say, yes, Sheuna don't see.
God bless you.
When I told you guys that this woman is a bad woman, you people think I'm the problem. But have you seen it now? Look at the person who married her next. Don't you see?
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. That makes so much sense.
So, Uncle Ben, they expect the women to suffer financially too, right?
Yep. True. That's true.
It's just what it is. I'm sorry. You know, when fight happen, you can't tell how it's gonna end. And I'm not saying this is not for all men. No, I'm just saying.
But it makes sense, brother Ben, what you're saying. It does. In relation, when I look back at what I went through with my ex, it does make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, let me now flip it to the other side. Please forgive me, but I have to say it. You see, only about 20% of African women wishes their ex good after divorce.
I do. I'm one of them. I do. I tell him to get married, he refuses.
A lot of African women too, because to the credit of African women tolerate a lot of bullshit. They tolerate a lot of BS. But one thing you can't take away from African women is that when their back is against the wall and they are done with you, blood of Zachariah, that is what daddyfreeze ex-wife did to me. Once their back is against the wall and they want to hit you back, fair African women, they will hit you like say tomorrow no day. So only about 20% will, if actually the reason for the divorce is coming from them or they are just Christian generally, only about 20% will pray for you after divorce. Or if they wish you well after divorce, is probably because you have kids with them and you are taking care of your responsibility. So for the sake of the children, then African woman might say, oh, God bless him. He's a terrible husband, but what can I do? Is this the father of my children? I pray God take care of him. That is just it. But any African woman that has been maltreated, abused, and she finally divorced, and when they left, the man did not turn around and take care of his children. That African woman is even praying that the man will meet a woman that will show him shaggy.
That's right.
Telling you, that
They
is
will carry him to the altar of fire.
Yeah.
Sade, about altar of fire now.
And yes, because I carried that man to the altar of fire. Oh, now he was doing that course. I knew that what God cannot do
Wow. That is,
does not
you scare me,
exist.
oh.
Oh my God. So, Sister Jojo, that is your answer. We monitor our ex because we want to see how their life looks, what their life looks like after us. And if we monitor the ex and the ex now end up with a man that is doing far better than us, blood of Jesus, unless we two we are doing better, then we're good. If an African man is not doing better and you meet an husband that is doing better, way, way better, that is taking care of
them, gang. Pepper them, gang.
Please let me advise you now, my sister. If you are divorced African man and you meet another man that treats you well, that is taking care of you, and he's a big boy, a baller, please avoid any form of confrontation with your ex. Don't slander, don't even say anything to him, because that guy has resentment inside though for you leaving him and finding
Totally. Totally agree, Brother Ben. You're spot on. You're spot on.
Don't you dare do anything to spite him, oh. He will drag your new husband into the situation. I'm telling you. He will okay. All right.
Maybe that is very, very true, Brother Ben. You're spot on.
Imaginary boyfriend.
I think I'm saying too much. I'm
really enjoying your golden nuggets, because exactly what you're saying makes sense.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
But the man has done nothing to him, though.
It doesn't matter. With my ex, when I went back to my first son's partner, you can see the resentment. He tried every legal thing to get back at me because I now was back with my first son's dad. So everything that Brother Ben is saying is spot on.
All right.
But Ben, continue. You're dropping gems.
Oh, that is just it. If you are lucky to have someone taking care of you, doing everything right by you, please, I beg you, don't even try to spite your ex-husband. Don't even try to say, let me show him. If he's following you on social media, block him, because when you post you and your husband and the new life you are living, they go well. Or alternatively, what you can do is that pray to God that God gives him a better woman that can make him forget about you. Because the thing is this, as a good woman, if you come out of a very bad marriage and you end up with a very great man, the man is taking care of you, you are now blossoming, you are shining and everything. Make I no talk. We'll talk tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you know what? This is good though.
Do like join the BBL gang.
Women will flock to your channel because you really educating us.
I'm just saying, as an uncle, I'm just saying my own. It goes both ways. Honestly speaking, it goes both ways. It's the same thing I tell men. If you and your wife divorce and God is good to you, you are making money, you now find another woman that suits you, another woman that kind of see the other side of you, and you are living large. Don't go and spite your ex-wife. I tell men to don't do that. If you have to post your new woman on social media, don't leave cryptic messages. I've seen some men we go, this way they do it all the time, Some men will go to social media, they are just posting birthday picture of maybe them and their wife, or maybe they're having a good time. And so some people will say, oh, once upon a time, I couldn't do this, but now my sweetheart is here and we are balling. The lady, your ex knew that you are throwing shade at her, bro. Your ex knew that she's the one you are throwing shade at. And please, if your ex never move on and you are doing this nonsense, now your new wife go collect. Women know how they do them. I know they lie. When I cook my day here, now they here. Women know how they do all these things. Your new wife go collect.
They like Judy and Yoda. We think that they are Zulu dance.
Oh.
Dogu silencer. Dogu bazooka. Is the DK1 Ijele.
Don't even go there, my sister. You know the show Auntie B did yesterday, When Auntie B was rounding up, Auntie B played, is it Auntie B or MOP? Somebody played the video of the new movie that featured May Edochie.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Uprising, yes.
Now, when I saw May Edochie, that drum and everything, what came to my mind is that, this May Edochie is a very wicked woman. This is the kind of woman I don't want to deal with in my life.
Well, but Uncle Ben, May has said nothing. Oh,
Yeah, let me lad now. Let me tell you why I have that feeling.
okay.
You see, I'm not saying that in the negative sense. I'm actually saying it to praise May. I'm just saying it that May is one of those women that no man should try that woman. No. That woman sabi flog people. She sabi how to make a man get heart attack inside house without uttering a word.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
When I saw that video, the comment I left on the show was that whoever is the producer of that movie is the smartest producer in Nigeria.
Amani Oboli.
Yes. And why did I say that? May Edochie, for being in that movie alone, even if it is that only that drum she was hitting in that movie, even me where they here, if they bring and come cinema, I go pay, make I go watch. I just want to see me. You see what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Everybody want to see May. May already have crowd now. And May does not have interest in acting, even when she was with you. But now, it's just like the Pepper Dem story I was just giving you guys now. May feel like since Osimili, they have always been on social media saying they are doing skit. Let me show them that I don't do skit. I feature in movies.
I like that. On Netflix, you mean?
You get what I'm saying now? Movie that is going to the cinemas and we end up in Netflix. That is how a woman will punish you when you fuck up. I'm so sorry.
Preach it, Brother Ben.
So that is why I said, when I saw me hitting that drum, I just said, Jesus, this woman must be the most wicked woman in the world. How can you beat a brother like this and you beat him down? From her silence, she has already been punching you, Edochie, and the so-called side chick to wife. Because she's not talking, social media is doing a fighting for her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You see where she did it. He said that he claimed that she went to go and enhance her upper the upper part of her body. That was paying him.
You
that
see,
was the only thing he could see.
You see something? That actually is an evidence to what I was telling you, my sisters earlier, about men monitoring their ex. You see that with all the Odogun, with all the thing where inside chick carry for body, he still got to check Instagram pictures, still they zoom. So they say, she don't do BBL. She don't do BBL. Like, what if you moved on already? That is the way we are. Now, the only thing you is expecting is bad news. He just want to hear news like, oh, May Edochie slept with one boy when no go reach in level. That's the way most of these egoistic African men are wired. He want to hear that May Edochie is messing with one young boy. So he cannot say, you see what I was telling you. But then May took the high ground. I think May is the only woman in Nigeria that is listening to Michelle Obama. When they go low, you go high. Most of the way I know in Nigeria,
yes,
when you go low,
Tonto Dickhead has shown Papa Grishege bangs out, cleared out Winston Churchill, Abby Churchill. Hey.
Oh my God.
Brother Ben, you know why? My sister live in New Jersey, and I'm always in New Jersey because I live in Washington, D.C. area. Okay. You know, my older sister, she's a psychiatrist, counselor, nurse, right? So what she did, how she helped May to me, when that incident happened, she intervened right away, and she was counseling May and showing her the right thing to do, and May listened to her sister. So her sister was very instrumental in how she handled this, right? Because her sisters told her, don't say a word. Her sister kept talking to her, counseling her from you, because her sister has her own practice here in New Jersey. So she took it upon herself. So they did the work with May behind the scene. Unlike Tunto Dike, and come to think about it, Queen May is so calm, right? So
Yeah.
she was able to, like you're talking about Daddy Freeze going to counsel and stuff like that. That making go is a nah, right? So May was able to take the counsel, and that's how she was able to win. But unlike Tunto DK, right? NTB already used to say,
Yeah.
always to say, Tunto is going about this, talking all of these things. So if Tunto had that kind of strong support system with her, she was going to, her silence was going to do the same thing to her son's father. But May used silence as a weapon, and I respect her for that. We all need to learn from her. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and I think Didi just bring the word out of my mouth now. May has grace on her head. She knows how to carry herself. That thing is a blessing. No, in fact, I respect women that know how to carry themselves and how to conduct themselves, because when you know how to carry yourself, grace will speak for you. I think that's what happened with me. So, Mama Jojo, thank you for coming. But I was going to ask you a question, Mama Jojo, though.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like a Liberian, right?
Yes, I'm a Liberian, yeah.
Okay, I have a lot of Liberian friends here in Austin. We all roll together every time. Even at my work, I have Liberian friends too. So I know you are a Liberian. But it's like you are in love with Nigerians, right? Everybody
My,
loves, Nigerian.
my sister husband is Nigerian.
Oh,
Yeah,
are they
I have my son is my nephew is Abidemi and my niece is Atinuke.
Wow, no
And my
one.
sister been living in Lagos for over 30 years. She had a sewing business in Lagos. Her
Oh,
husband is Yoruba.
oh, I see.
So
No
so like you can see now, like it's like we are all family. So I can say we married to the Yoruba family because her husband was Yoruba, and then she has 2 kids, Atinuke and Abidemi.
All right.
And she even speaks Yoruba too because she left Liberia during like the early 90s, and she was in Lagos for the whole time until she came to the US.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. I let you go, Sister Mama Jojo.
Okay.
Coming back to our topic of discussion today, which is Daddy Freeze and his Wahala.
Ifedayo Olarinde.
So, Mama Jojo, do you think that the Freeze is innocent of the allegation of committing adultery? Do you think
He's not innocent because what it is I looked through, I read, I like to read before I come on here. I like to read and analyze things. The lady was still married, and when she was still married, and she got pregnant and had a child before the divorce went through.
Okay. We all know.
According to the laws, even though they were separated, but they were not legally divorced. And this is why I tell people in my Liberian community, I know for Liberian men, Uncle Ben, they will separate from their wives and go and start a whole new life. We're all doing the proper work. And sometimes the women will refuse the divorce too. So that's another angle we need to address too. Because some women will say, like I know for Liberian women, I don't know about Nigerian women, some women will say, let him do whatever he wants to do, I remain his wife. But a man will leave them for 10, 15, 20 years, we're all divorcing them, right? And another thing we have to address, Uncle Ben, before I leave, why is it that divorce takes so long in Nigeria?
My sister, I don't know. That is actually what we started with. And Sade and Honey Babe addressed it. Everybody in the comment actually addressed it. I don't know why divorce take too long in Nigeria, to be honest.
No, but in all honesty, based on the law, he's guilty because the lady was still legally married. And you see the thing about Uncle B and Uncle Ben, when I was in the university, right? We used to tease each other, right? Like in high school, right? When a young girl gets pregnant, we say she's the only one doing career work because you know what? She got pregnant and she brought a baby, all right? So all of us who are doing the same thing because we never got pregnant. Yeah. So we say, oh, she's the only one who know man business, right? She's the only one who doing career work because she chose to have the baby. So what happened? The child is in evidence. Because if they were just, no child, like you see Judy and Yo, the child is the evidence because you is still legally married under the act, and he brought children. So there is no, he cannot say there was no kerewa that happened because they have 2 children.
Yeah,
But if
right.
there were no children in the process, Uncle Ben, Daddy Freeze would have been innocent. But the idea she took in and she had the child. The child is in evidence, and the child looks like Daddy Freeze, and Daddy Freeze is the father of the child. That's the only thing. But to say she never had a child, Daddy Freeze are going to be free.
Okay. All right, Mama Jojo, thank you. We have another show tomorrow, 12 o'clock. If you can join us, it will be great.
Okay, what are you discussing tomorrow, Uncle Ben?
Tomorrow, look at the winners and losers of the case between Davido and Sophia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've looked at...
You know I'm a Sophia fan, right?
I know we have Sophia friends and we have Davido supporters, but for me, I'm for Imade, and a lot of the sisters are also for Imade. So tomorrow, I'm just gonna do a show on the winners and losers. I will give my verdict tomorrow, who I think are the winners of between Davido and Sophia, both, and those I think that are actually the losers in the whole scenario. And the people who are the loser in this case will shock you, but I will tell you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming.
Uncle Ben, you know what? Let me say something quickly before you go, because I'm about to go, right? You know, I work for the World Bank, and I live in DC area, right? So all these artists that come here, I go. I don't hear Davido. Last year he came to Maryland capital, to DC. I attended his concert, right? But the reason why I think, let me give you guys the reason why I think why I'm starting with Sophia, right? The hotel that Davido stays in when he come, right? I have friends, I have people there. Davido will pay $100,000 a night for all his staff, for the liquor, for the party, for the executive suite, for the women, and for everything, right? And that we know in Washington, D.C., that's how he spends when he comes. They will have the wild party. Just imagine, sometimes they will buy a bottle of alcohol for $800, right? Because I go there, I enjoy myself in D.C., right? Okay. So when seeing how much Davido spends on these things, and my aunt lives in Atlanta, Georgia, right? She's a nurse practitioner in Atlanta. So sometimes when she's driving to work, the traffic will be back up. And then she will call me and we'll be talking. And she will say that, oh, Davido was in town. He went to the fast food restaurant and gave a check for $30,000 and said people should eat until the money goes out, right? So now, me seeing how Davido would give $30,000 to people to the restaurant to eat, how he would come to DC where I live and work and would spend $100,000 on those parties. Now, if Sophia is asking for $5,000 for a month, me seeing how he spends money on other people, in my mind, I'm thinking that he's just being spiteful to Sophia. That's why I took Sophia's side.
All right, we're gonna address that tomorrow. I see where you're coming from and your stance, but I don't think how a man spends his money should be the basis to determine how much he's willing to spend on his child, especially if what the mother is requesting is considered outrageous. But we will discuss all that tomorrow, Mama Jojo. Thank you for coming.
Uncle Ben, let's say this, right? If Sophia got a green card and come to America tomorrow with Imade, Davido is a U.S. citizen. Between you and me, you know Davido will pay no less than $50,000 based on his net worth and the money he makes, right? Can we establish that if he were in the United States, right? So I do understand where Auntie B was coming from, that in Nigeria, we have to consider that will not work. But I was thinking, looking at the case from American standpoint, and I was looking at the case as what I see Davido spending, because for me, I'm a mother, right?
I'm a Jojo.
It's okay.
Don't worry. Today's show is about the video. We will iron all this tomorrow. And like I said, tomorrow we're just going to look at the winners and losers in this case. My platform is for people to learn. Basically, like I've always said, I don't have my own big advice or opinion I'm going to give you. The only opinion I can give you is from the street. And you know how it be for street. Sometimes is a shot in the dark. You give a street advice, it might work. The next thing, that advice might put you in problem completely. That's just me.
12 o'clock Central Time or Eastern Time? I'm in
It's gonna
Maryland. I'm in DC. What time?
Okay, if you are in DC, that means you are like 1 hour ahead of me. I usually go live between 11:30 and 12 noon. And
Okay,
tomorrow
all
is
right.
Saturday. Yeah, however, one thing I do though, because I love my Auntie B and my Man of Prestige so much. If any of Auntie B or Man of Prestige is going live, I usually just read mine because I like to listen to them and learn. Okay, so but tomorrow 11:30 we're gonna be live and we'll look at the verdict between Sophia and Davido. Thank you very, very much for coming,
Okay.
Mama Jojo. You
Thank
actually
you.
made me laugh today, Seth. I don't laugh, Taya. I don't know where I get a bunch of funny sisters all over the place today. All right.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Let me answer this question from Didi and I'll call it a day. Didi said, question, Bro Ben, do men realize their loss when they lose the good women in their lives? Big question. Now, I'm going to be candid with you. I'm going to be honest with you. You see, Didi, as well as other sisters that might be thinking about this, my honest answer to this is that men who have ego and men who believe they are in the right, they don't realize that they lost a good woman until they are in another relationship. I don't know if you get that. What I mean is that if a man believes that the wife is a terrible wife, the woman is a bad woman, she is disrespectful, she is this, she is that, let me get rid of her, she has to go. Okay? If a man is coming from that standpoint, he won't even know that the wife is a good wife in the first place. So before they get to know that they already lost a good woman, they will be in another relationship. Now, how karma work is that in most times, karma work in favor of women than men. If a man treats a woman badly, the next time he's going to find a woman, God will use that next woman as punishment for him for leaving the good one. I think women get away with, can I say, if a woman divorces a good man, she has a better chance of finding another great guy than a guy divorcing a good woman and find a good wife. So all I'm saying is that egoistical men, people will be say they believe say na their holy pass. They don't believe say the woman a good woman, but once they marry another woman, the woman can't they give them bass bows. Instantly they will regret it. They'll be like, oh, wait, my ex-wife will dare not do this to me. Who is she? And then the new way the woman where they marry go be aboya with it. Your ex-wife, why don't you go back to your ex-wife? That's when they will start saying, oh my God, what have I done to myself? But anyway, that is just my own my own street understanding of it. You can ask MOP. MOP will definitely have a show tomorrow. You can ask MOP the same question, Didi. I think MOP and Auntie B, they will have better answer. But honestly, from my own point of view, good men don't know that they marry a good man until they are collecting woto from another woman. That's just what I would say. Thank you everybody for being here today. It's been a wonderful time. We did 3 hours. I wasn't expecting that. And please help me hit like on the video. That's the only money you can give me, right? Just hit like. And by the way, God bless us. YouTube approved our membership. We now have super chat, super sticker, and all that. And although I really don't talk about this that much, what I do is when I make money on social media, most time I give that money back to people who need it in Africa. So if you support us with anything, definitely we are just working together. And even though I don't make noise about it, I actually have my own registered foundation in Nigeria. It's called Levite Foundation, and I registered the foundation in honor of my late mom. So, but I'm just doing my own anything with that foundation. So thank you guys for all your support. YouTube approved us yesterday for super chat membership, and I said that as far as membership is concerned, there are so many contents I have to release, but I don't want to release those content and just put it on just for no. I want to release the content to those who really want values from them. So I like money, I like hustling, street boy. So I know a couple of small side hustles, the one that can give you $1,000, $2,000 a month without you being physically present. You can just be on your own. So I have all that I can share in the membership post. For instance, do you know that there are some websites where you can actually beg for money? Not all those fake ones. No. There are some authentic websites that if you have a project you are working on, maybe you need support, maybe you need $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. There are some websites that you can go, you will apply as if you are applying for a job. They will vet you, they will check everything about you, they will check the project you are working on. If they found it that it's authentic, they will actually give you the money. These are like grants. You don't even have to pay it back. And those websites are run by rich, wealthy people. So stuff like that, I can share them in the membership. And again, as far as this platform is concerned, the purpose of creating this platform is to just help upcoming ones, just to give them advice. I don't want to join. I don't want to drag anybody. And please, if you are on the platform, please help me understand that everybody you see on this platform, these are big girls, big aunties, big brothers, big uncles. When I say big, in Nigerian terms, I mean people who have accomplished. They are like rich people. So majority of them are like that. So the fact that you see them on this platform, they chat, they talk, we laugh, throw small jab at each other, please do not take it for granted that, okay, because we are on the same platform, I will just say whatever I want. I don't do that, and I don't tolerate it. Respect is my watchword. I respect everybody, both male and female, older and younger, and I expect my friends to all do that. So we are back tomorrow. We're going to talk about the winners and losers between Davido and Sophia, and I will give my own verdict. You know, remember, I'm a traditional lawyer. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a traditional judge. I get LLB, MMA, MPVA from law. Tomorrow I'm going to judge Sophia and Davido's case. Where my gavel? And I never get gavel, I go buy gavel. Tomorrow, I will judge their case and tell you who is the winner and loser of that case. And please, if you come in tomorrow, Team Sophia, Team Davido, please, so may we not do basketballs tomorrow. May we just extract the lessons. I see Man of Prestige here. I don't think this is our own Man of Prestige. I've been on another channel with this. This is another Man of Prestige name that we are not familiar with. Okay, this way, stop it, speaker. You are ignorant. Definitely, that is why I say this is not our Man of Prestige. Man of Prestige don't talk like this. Speaker, you are ignorant. Oh my show. Sorry, my brother. I don't do exchange of words and jabs on social media. That is not my person. And if you come to people's platform and you talk like this, it's actually a reflection on you. Okay, so please, this Man of Prestige is definitely not our Man of Prestige. You say, I just discovered this platform and has subscribed. This MOP from CAUSA, not Auntie B's Man of Prestige. Oh, hey, I talk him that this is not our own Man of Prestige, but we may have to have you a Man of Prestige meet so that we can work on this name. It got me confused, and when I saw your first comment that stop it, Mr. Speaker, you are ignorant, that's when I feel like our Man of Prestige will never speak like this. I can stake I can literally stake my last dollar on that. The MOP that I know is a very classy man. He will never ever speak to someone like this. No. All right. Man of prestige too. That's what I would like to call you, my brother. Thank you for being part of the platform. But please, I'm begging you. We don't do dragging. We don't use some vulgar languages or anything. I've had several platforms on Facebook. If we combine all my followers together now on Facebook, I think I should be having close to 100,000 followers. And everybody knows me. I don't do dragging. I always respect everybody. So please, if you come to my platform, respect anybody you see on my platform. One good thing about me, I have listening ears. Forget to Abi Agberu. I did do like Widow, but I have listening ears. I will listen to you and I will try to reason with you wherever you are coming from. But one thing I will not take is you and someone else, maybe because of what they drop in the chat or maybe because of what they are saying where they call into the show. I won't take that, please. But you are free. You are entitled to your opinion and you have freedom of expression. Mr. Natu, I they see you since. I don't know why they jump where I never see you. How you there, Sister Natu? So thank you everybody for being here. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about Davido and Sophia. I want to put that matter to rest. I don't tire. It's been dragging for too long. In fact, it's draining and it's exhausting. I'm done with it. Hey, Didi is actually our first member. Thank you very much, Didi. Didi is actually a troublemaker. Didi is the one that always asks questions that will lead to some bass boast. Today now, Didi don't ask the one way past me. Why men don't realize they lose good women until she is gone. Didi, be careful with this, your question. So, but God bless you, my sister, for being a member. Sister Natu too. Oh, wow. Thank you, Sister Natu. Thank you, everybody. Now, you guys going to make me get to work. Now, I have to come up with product to supply to my people. Anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of today's show. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your take. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a very good night. Kiss your husband. Hug your wife. Be a good girl. And not throw shade for my one and only daddyfreeze. I beg. Now daddyfreeze is in. I know they're gonna tag him a little bit, but please forgive my chairman. Okay. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good night.